Headbangers Ball and when he was just starting to do things with Ozzy.
Oh, okay.
I mean, because he was young.
Zach. I thought you were talking about CC DeVille.
He was young as fuck. He was like
Yeah.
18 when he started talking. I think he was 18 when he started talking to Ozzy.
He was just like the next. Who was the guy?
Those prodigies.
Who was the guy that was in Ozzy's Rhodes? Randy Rhodes.
Randy Rhodes.
Yeah.
So he was like the next Randy Rhodes, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He even
But-
had
but
his Les Paul that he had.
biker
was even,
Randy Rhodes.
Yeah.
Hardcore biker.
Preferably not pilot.
I got to meet
helicopter
him.
pilot.
I met
or,
I
was it
met
helicopter
Zach
or
Wild
plane?
once. I met him at I worked at FYE and we're doing we're running the side stage for Ozfest one year. And my buddy Mike, who's an amazing guitarist, who I think still has moved to Fort Worth and lives there. He was getting into Black Label Society at the time. And I was just like, can I get an autograph from Zach Wild for my buddy Mike? He's a huge fan. And so he was signing these autographs at this little tent, and we're just waiting there. He's got his biker posse around him, and I'm like 17. I'm like 17, so I'm just intimidated as fuck, just like just waiting patiently. And he's sitting there signing.
I'm pretty sure I was
something,
at that show.
and he was
probably all were.
Hatebreed and Down were there.
Was it raining?
Yeah. I remember that.
That was the Rainy show.
Was
where,
it?
Meshuggah opened up on the side, or wasn't open, but Meshuggah played real early on the side stage.
Oh yeah, I got there on the later show.
And then there was like a tropical depression or something.
Yeah.
That in.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
We had
rained like a mofo.
we were inside our tents, like with
Yeah.
our feet pressing down. But so we.
That's when I saw Ozzy Osbourne's daughter and that child pedophile from Lost Prophets.
Oh shit.
Fucking around.
I forgot about that guy.
So Zach Wild's there, and like he at one point he just stops what he's doing, turns around, and like there's like these big ass biker dudes next to me. Turns around and looks over at them, like, and he's got his sunglasses on. Obviously, he's like turns back around, and I was like, what was that all about? He was like, I don't know, man. Zach's a weird dude. I was like, awesome. I was like, oh, okay, cool. And then he signed the autograph. Nice,
Yeah.
but it was just for not completely unprovoked. No one said anything to him. Like, hey, Zach, we got something. You just like, I was like, man, this guy is a mystery. And that's amazing.
Yeah. What does that mean?
I don't know. I don't know, man.
I'm freaked out.
I'm freaked out. Freaked out very, very badly. Freaked out on acid.
I'm freaked out.
I'm freaked
You
out.
are
very,
freaked
very
out on acid,
badly.
man.
I'm freaked out on acid. All right. We ready for this? Dun dun
Here we go, man.
dun
Come on.
dun 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 dun
Yeah,
dun
man,
dun dun dun
Go on,
dun.
do it.
Elvis.
Oh.
That was Mortal Kombat.
No,
Oh,
you.
I thought I was doing
I thought
it.
you
Oh,
were doing Elvis.
Y'all ready for
Oh,
that?
right.
Dun 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 dun.
I've been to
And then I thought,
I've been to Graceland.
Which
The
is
greatest
weird.
thing is when John Stamos pops up.
Think
on your
about
little
that.
iPad.
If,
That's weird.
If all of a sudden there was a, y'all ready for this? Dun, 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 dun. And then Elvis actually was speaking back going, yeah, let's do this. Yeah, I'm ready.
Yeah,
for
man.
it. Let's do it, man.
Let's do it.
Let's do it, man.
Uh-huh.
I'm ready.
Well, let's do
I'm
this
ready
then.
for it. Dun, dun, dun,
I made a
dun,
new intro.
dun, 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 dun.
I'm gonna see if y'all
You
give
got
me the
that Mixler
approval.
running yet?
Mixler is running, and so's YouTube. But I made a new intro, and y'all gotta get to hear it before we start the show. So I'm gonna
Yeah.
see if I get the
Thumbs up, thumbs
thumbs
down,
up or the thumbs down. It's
toes up.
It's
toes
kind of
down.
dark. It's kind of really dark.
Oh,
Yeah.
great.
I
Yeah.
forgot how dark this was. And
I thought this was going to be our funny show. We
Then
weren't
we-
going to be serious this show.
No,
It's the
I-
wacky hour.
I don't mean
The
it's that
wacky
dark.
hour.
It's like this really could happen. What? How are you guessing this? All right, here we go.
I will eat my neighbors.
Oh, shit. Here we go again.
This episode of the
Jay Jones Last Kicker.
is brought to you by
Geist Note.
and
Victor Wrench.
and Plastic Object.
This program contains graphic material, including offensive language. Viewer discretion is advised.
To state the obvious, COVID-19 is now spreading at an unacceptable rate in Texas, and it must be corralled. Closing down Texas
Too dark.
again will always be the last option. COVID-19 remains a very fast-spreading virus that will remain in Texas, the United States, and across the entire world until treatments are available to mitigate it.
Fuck you. You're a goddamn communist. I'm a fucking Reagan-era fucking conservative, pussy.
As a result, we must find ways
They
to
killed Peter.
return to our daily routines while also learning ways to coexist with COVID-19. I've said all along that if
there
the
more?
positivity rate or the hospitalization rate increase too much, we have strategies to reduce the spread of COVID-19 without having to return to stay-at-home policies.
Too dark?
Depends on the music that comes out of this.
I think I nailed it on this one. Show number 375.
375. More me. More
Crank
me.
yourself up.
Putting it in the headphones.
And put it in that old
Alex
headphones.
needs to quiet down.
Alex, you need to shut the fuck up. And that what he said to that poor little lady up there in
He
Denton?
said, "Hey, somebody get this fucking cunt off the stage."
Which Alex I'm talking about? The one.
Alex Johnson.
Oh, wait. It was in
Mountain of Smoke.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I was no.
He's a member of a
he
band
was
called
House Arcona,
House
which
That's
we're
what I
listening
was
to.
assuming because I was looking at
Yeah.
your shirt and the
Played
poster on the
guitar
wall,
for several
and it sounded like a
metal
Yeah,
projects.
I'm actually wearing the same shirt.
Yeah, you are, man.
I didn't even think about that when I
It's
went
synergy.
to.
It's
I
all
was like, how many songs of from local bands do we know about death and war and destruction and
a whole catalog from HK.
So
yes,
why don't
that's
why don't
volume
they
7,
play more?
Volume 6, volume.
Like is it just like they're kind of over what they? Because I've heard nothing but
there's-
amazing things. I
There's-
may have
it's
seen
like
them
Fight Club.
once.
There's 3 rules. You never mention House Arconin playing, right?
but they're in jukeboxes.
Actually, we were supposed to see them last month,
Yeah.
and it got moved to October if
Yeah.
3 Links opens.
Ah.
I don't know how that show's going to go down because there's going to be 500 goddamn people in 3
Yeah.
Links
You can't
when they
social,
play.
I don't know, man.
social
Move it to
distancing at
Reunion Arena?
concerts. Anyone who even mentions that idea needs to be slapped because I'm like, that's not what
Oh.
fucking concerts do.
Happy Tuesday, Brian.
Oh hey,
Happy Tuesday, Brian.
Hey, Dustin. Happy Tuesday.
Happy Tuesday, Matt. I wanted
Happy
to
Tuesday.
ask you something.
Marlon.
Oh no, I actually have it open.
Okay, here we go. Here we
Let
go.
me
I'll
check it
tell.
out.
Wait, Marlon.
Marlon.
Happy Tuesday.
What?
Uh oh.
Uh-oh, they're broken.
Uh oh. Marlon's.
They won't go all the way through.
Oh man. Oh hey, Bigfoot.
Oh,
Happy
Bigfoot
Tuesday.
says it. What's up? Marlins aren't working.
So I was reading today on one of the metal
Don't tell me.
websites. Was it Metal Edge? Not Metal Edge.
metal sucks.
Remember Metal Edge magazine though?
Yeah,
I
that
bet
one
Chris
looks like
Ryan
they actually
remembers
acknowledged
those.
like death metal. You know.
So King Diamond was always in Metal Edge. Anyway,
I'm gonna see where you're going because this may
Yeah,
be the same thing I wanted to
might
hit you
be.
with.
it's what is it? Metal something. Well, what are the publications that are on Twitter all the time and always on
Metal
Facebook?
Injection.
Metal Injection.
Ah,
It might have
okay.
been that one. Might have been the other one, Blabbermouth, whatever.
Let's see. This may kill us.
Misting disinfectant as you enter the venues to see shows.
Oh yeah. I thought you were talking about something else they posted today, right by that story.
I haven't looked. Maybe it was yesterday then, because I don't think I've seen what you're talking about.
31 years ago,
Oh, I did see this.
this was released.
Yeah.
Hold your breath. Hold your breath.
Have you seen the fan page for Faith No More is doing fights between their songs, and it's always the Real Thing, like songs off of the Real Thing, up against King for a Day, Fool for a Lifetime. Are those two the best and the biggest? Because my two are Angel Dust and King for a Day. Then actually it swaps sometimes between the Real Thing and King for a Day.
So you want to here's something shocking if we're going to play this game. Angel Dust number 1.
Angel Dust is my number 1.
I love Angel Dust.
It's my favorite album by them ever. That's
number 2. Soul Invictus.
Oh, really?
I really like that
Is that
record
the
and how it
latest
rolls
one?
off. Yeah,
I
and how it sounds.
Is it the sound
them.
though,
They
or
just
is it
don't
the
give me the
songs?
boner that
It's the-
everybody else has.
Because the sound does the same thing to me. The
songs-
sound is so dynamic.
and it's just it's grown up, but that could be the problem is the sound in how they feel grown up, as players. It's not super edgy, but there is cool stuff in there, and it's the only thing I don't like is it's not bizarre. There's no real hardcore left-hand turn.
No, just I guess motherfucker.
So that doesn't kick off the album though, does it?
Mm-mm.
That's like last song.
What kicks it out is that.
Oh, yeah.
No,
That's
not.
badass.
Yeah. Coming on here.
Where's motherfucker on here? But I'm a big fan of Soul Invictus. I know
See, I respect
motherfucker's 8.
motherfuckers' vocals. It's just they don't hit me the way other
Mike
people
Patton's?
do. Yeah,
Wow.
I respect it, but I'm just kind of like, dude, you're talented, but it's just kind of like.
Did you ever listen to his stuff with Dillinger?
I've heard.
When
I've heard that EP. Yeah.
Yeah, when they were between.
I like
singing
that.
and-
What's your
also,
favorite
I like-
Patton project?
Probably that, just because.
Just Faith No
that's
More?
all I
You
really.
don't like Tomahawk?
I really haven't checked them out. So
And Dead Cross. You'd like Dead Cross too,
a
man.
little bit I've heard. Yeah.
Dead
I
Cross is
like.
fun.
I like Dead Cross. I
Yeah.
love Justin Pearson.
It's beautiful.
Like he's
It's
one of my favorite.
brutal.
I love Retox. I've seen the Locust live. Every time
Yeah.
I've seen Retox, I have like a fucking comedy show I can't get out of.
Oh, everybody! I mentioned Dillinger's Escape Plan. Take a shot.
Oh, is that the rule? I forgot, huh?
Yeah, that's
We
the
got-
rule.
I
But yeah,
will.
I don't have any
31
booze.
years.
Someone has to just
So-
pour it for me.
Yeah, disinfectant at concerts.
Yeah, are you in or out?
Is this doable? And like,
I'd have to be if I'm shooting them, though, right?
do you go
I don't
through
know,
like
man.
that? Do you go through like that Putin doorway? Do you see that thing Putin has? where it's, like-
it's
Yeah.
very well.
Where they
I'm-
ionize you.
But the thing
Yeah.
is, that's very makes maybe Jewish people uncomfortable, man.
Zyklon B.
What?
Hey,
No,
I'm just stating. Now, I'm not trying to be a racist.
No.
I'm just
like,
saying,
Zyklon
fucking-
B
or not a
was
racist
used
or
to
anti-Semitic, I should say. But
no,
dude,
Is the spray not
what's
kosher?
the typhoid?
it's just the like you're
Typhus.
walking through it there because it's
Typhus.
probably
No,
going to be
Zyklon
like a
B
thing
is
where
also
you have
made
to
to
walk
combat
through like a.
typhus.
I imagine it's going to be like what are those canopies that they put over like military zones and stuff? Where they-
Kwanzaa hut?
kind of no like where they would have triage at some place.
Yeah.
So you got a group that's just walking into
tent.
this tinted area. It's just that could be spooky. I don't know if I like that.
Well, how badly you want to fucking rock, man?
I guess that's what it's all going to come down to because that's
Do-
what sports are going to come
Do they
down to. I
walk out
guess
the other end, or are they
Do
getting on an
collapse.
airplane that
being
aliens
shipped
control
out.
because it's a cookbook on how to serve man?
The new Holocaust.
Wait, so
Is
if you
aliens.
could do the
Is
disinfectant
aliens
thing,
to all
does that
humans?
make everything okay? We can go do crowd shit
Yeah,
again?
that's the thing. Do we even know
Is
if
this the answer to every? Can we go back to normal if there's a disinfectant at the?
Well, every
just
restaurant
walk
and
through
bar
sprays
starts
Well, no,
having
no.
to have a spray through as you walk into the bar.
yeah, where are you going to draw the line here?
Well, yeah,
Yeah.
at certain point, some place couldn't afford it because this is going to cost money. It's new. That's anything. But like something as big as baseball, football, basketball, giant ass concerts.
And say Mass has one, and
You have to be able to afford this. So
Hold
let's
on,
not
hold
go
on.
that far.
Check
but
this
you
out.
got to go out and smoke, and then you come back in. Or
Oh,
you
do it
spray it every time you go
Yeah.
back and forth.
Oh, see, yeah, that's the thing. And then you're like, I've been sprayed 5 times tonight.
Well,
What-
you know what? they could-
doing to my
yeah,
testicles?
what am I?
Well, check this out. What
I'm
if
gonna go masturbate
what
in the
if,
bathroom,
Okay,
make
so
sure
what if
this
they
is
do
okay.
that? What if they do that, and then all of a sudden, a few years of technology come down the line, and next thing we know, you have to walk through some scan, which shoots like 5G at you. like,
microwave.
are you going to be signed up for that?
Anyways?
Are you going to be signed up for that?
You know, it is. The 5G technology is the exact same thing that's the millimeter wave at the airport.
I'm sorry?
The thing you stand in where you hold your hand up and it goes.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that technology being radiated at you constantly is what 5G is.
Yeah.
It's millimeter wave technology, and
millimeter
you can also
wave?
Use,
Is that what it's called?
Yeah. If you also
That's
if you
a funny name if you think about it.
You're to me my de facto expert because this is
it's right up my alley.
Like what
I love the name.
I would just look at 5G
Millimeter
shit,
meter.
but I really just don't care because like. But
That's my
I
little
never even
dick.
thought about mentioning that to you. So say they implement 5G, like is that gonna
So all the antennas are really low. They're not as high as regular cell phone towers are.
Yeah.
You've heard that conspiracy theory that this whole COVID is from
Well, no.
5G,
What
right?
everybody gets wrong about that is what people are saying is that it
weakens our
when I say
weakens
that
our
what like
immunities and
no
shit?
the COVID's already in you and then the 5G
activates it.
makes it even worse or something like that.
It
So
makes it pop.
what sucks is people were saying
And then when you
I
vape,
never heard any
a popcorn lung makes it
conspiracy
even
thing.
triple
I never
worse.
heard anyone say 5G causes COVID. Like the 5G puts the virus in you. No, like, but that's what everyone thinks. No.
5G
If you actually
manhandles
took
you.
like time to watch like what a semi-intelligent conspiracy person
Well, I'm
try to
done.
explain it,
Said
it was the
semi-intelligent.
5G, and this is also what David Icke said because that guy's hilarious. But like it was you have the COVID, you have it already, and then the 5G like weaken or amplifies its effects or weakens it. So it was like which to me I'm like I'm kind of glad that's all kind of died away too.
If you're ever in downtown, like when you said earlier, well that was off mic, but Hyenas.
Yeah,
there's an antenna right outside of Hyenas, so get ready to get shot. Now we have some in studio. They just showed up. We brought them for them.
So back to what I was talking about, though. I want to get back to this real quick. So let's say we start having these misters, these Misters.
Yeah.
Meester.
Next to the Mr. Fister.
Meester. Save me, Meester. Get me out.
Yeah, and you get misted, so you walk into a venue. So if we encourage this because if young ladies are going to be going out, nice, attractive women that happen to go out braless, we're like, you got to get misted, baby. You got to get in here. Like, there's a lot of COVID in here.
Well, the thing is with a water mister that's heavy, and I don't think it's heavy stuff that's going to be sprayed on you.
Well, you could like
not
keep
every
her in there.
concert's
It's like,
gonna be a
hey,
wet
listen,
T-shirt night, man.
Listen,
it's not a heavy liquid.
You could be like, hey, listen, darling, I really don't want you to get COVID, so you need to stay in a little longer. And all my friends, they're going to be over here. You need to go directly to them.
with their
Now,
phone cameras.
Now
out.
that there's like a Mister thing, like
So
why
creepy,
don't
aren't
we
we?
just go balls to the wall and just have a city vote and be like, okay, y'all come and spray the entire city.
Well, they're
and
going
we're
to do
good.
that. That's
And you're
like
good.
West Nile spray. They're going to do that. That's happening.
They'll just be trucks driving
So
around.
then we'll be fine. What is everybody?
I don't know, man. Like now they're saying some of the disinfectant that your people have been putting on their hands are cancer-causing agents.
Yeah, probably.
So
anything we
Then
put
we have-
around us.
then we have
Probably
that
causes
whole
cancer.
wave
Any
of
man-made
litigation
chemical's gonna
that's about
fuck
to
us up
happen.
somehow. But hey, we've
We
gotten
should
this
stop
far.
calling this segment "Shoot the Shit" and just call it "Shoot the COVID."
How about we just
just bitch about
Also,
COVID.
here's
Or
the
we
thing,
just
like with
get
the
angry.
intro you're saying, like it's like
Just don't
it's-
talk about robots
is it
blowing
spreading,
up shit.
or are we just testing a shit ton more and finding out
You don't look-
exactly how widespread it already is?
It depends on what or if you're listening to Democrats or you're listening to Republicans.
If you're a real person that
Yeah.
actually wants to think with their own brain, what you do is you don't look at those tested that are infected or say they're infected. You look at how many are in the hospital.
Yeah.
How many are hospitalized right now? If that number is shooting through the roof, which it is,
It is.
that's when
I
you
have
fucking worry.
verification.
But how bad are we talking? Like
I
you know,
have
what's-
a
but
source.
also again the spectrum, like what I brought up last time. What they're in the hospital? Okay, to what degree are they in the hospital?
Well, some of them will say if they're ICU patients.
Well,
or
the
not,
thing
Yeah,
is,
and
it
that's
doesn't
what
matter if
shows.
you
Then I
have
see
more.
things about like
The thing is, your death toll starts getting effect at
well,
hospitals and
death
stuff
toll's
and
going
mortality
down though.
because the thing is, it might be going down now, but if you start overloading our hospitals, then it's going to go back up from shit that's not even related to COVID. It gets back to this
but
is
then
still
they say it's COVID.
Yeah,
related.
That was the argument.
Then we go back to
that's
the whole,
argument
what
that
they die of.
Well, see, that's the thing. That's the thing about the argument about the way they're looking at numbers, because those deaths have to be accounted for. You can't just say, yeah, that guy that had a heart attack wouldn't have lived anyway. You can't say that, because without COVID, he might have gotten the treatment and everything that he needed, all the supplies, all the nurses, everything, all the medical attention that he
COVID
deserved
just
and
pushes
needed.
people over the edge a lot.
Well, what I'm saying is take COVID out of the equation. Well, the guy goes to the hospital, gets treated real quick, everything gets taken care of, has a bed, da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. But now that you do have COVID, okay, so now do you blame COVID for that death?
Yeah.
It's a weird, tricky, slippery slope.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
and the thing is, that's getting that it depends on what political spectrum you're on to how you interpret the information and how you're taking these deaths.
I remember the first
It's
thing
a
I
joke.
saw was a senator who was also a doctor. I think it was a senator. I believe he was a senator, and he was in Michigan or Minnesota. I want to say Minnesota.
Mhm.
He's doing an interview, and he was talking about how they were classifying. This is when this first, like, before it blew up, it was like the first thing, how he was being told to classify it as a COVID death, even if they
Yeah.
had
Right.
something else and died with it.
Well, he has a friend. Actually, he's my friend too, who said the
Is he?
exact same thing.
Yeah.
He may think you're a.
He said the same exact thing. He said that someone told him, a nurse friend, and I have a nurse friend too that can verify a lot of this shit. Like them trying to spin it as a numbers game, and there's not more cases, there's just more tests, there's not more deaths, this, that, and other. Everyone I know that's in the field say horseshit. It's real deal.
Yeah.
There's real people like
Yeah.
Trump. He went on he did his speech or his rally a couple of days ago, and he was talking about how, oh look, that he's got a sniffly. That's another case. Honestly, dude, he shouldn't be joking like that. He sounds like a fucking idiot. He acts like he's not taking it serious,
He is an idiot.
and it trickles down to your dumbass wheelchair boy that you love. Wheels of steel and
That's my
steels
buddy.
and glory, but it trickles down to them, and they're making bad decisions. Like the decision to open up Texas was done too quick. It's
Way
obvious
too
now.
quick.
It's obvious
Stupid.
now.
Way too quick.
And the only reason that it went that route is because of politics, man. I don't think that this thing's really going to start getting any better. Honestly, number one, we got to get a vaccine. But number two is when politicians fucking take the politics out of this goddamn virus and decide that they're going to work together to try to get people better and get this country rolling again. Until that happens, man, we're going to be running into fucking roadblock after roadblock after roadblock for the next, I don't know, however many years.
Well,
That's fine.
even when the
I'll live with it.
vaccine comes out, do you want to be one of the first ones to take it?
Well, that's the other thing. Guess who's going to have to take it right off the bat from one of my sources?
Bill Gates.
Fauci.
The medical field.
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Well, man, now
Why are you going to fuck them over?
Exactly.
If this mutates them into monsters,
Exactly, because that's a big thing. If you've
Look
ever
how
known
many-
a
then
nurse,
they'll be able to work harder and
Hey,
longer shifts.
just do a quick research
put some
on
Monster strength.
put some
baby.
Adderall in it.
just do some quick research
More
on
masks
Bill
for
Gates
us.
and his vaccines and
Who's
the
going
first
to make
runs and what's happened in the past.
Bill
what he
Gates?
did
the
with-
one
Okay,
that
hey,
don't-
if
what
we
he
don't-
did
get
with
a
polio.
if we get a COVID vaccine, then all right, I want a flu vaccine. I want a cold vaccine. I want a vaccine for my allergies too. Since apparently we can do these vaccines like real quick. If we get a COVID vaccine, that will, I think, answer a lot of questions of like, oh, we got it for this. Why not for these other things that we can't cure and have no vaccines and need boosters for and shit we just deal with? Like, well, say like
right.
not like
We're getting a report
It's-
in the chat room. By
why not a flu vaccine if you're gonna whip up the
Here's what I-
TX
COVID
Riot
vaccine?
Girl says we're down to only 30% ICU capacity in Texas.
Yeah, it's
Because
insane.
they say
It's-
Houston's
it's
lying
insane.
about their capacity.
It's
or the
completely
media down there is lying.
the I
about it, not
okay.
to-
So I was
there's not fear.
I talked to a source last week that was saying
I thought they wanted fear though.
that was
Is the
saying
media
that
is the media stoking?
they
fear
were
or
pulling
trying to-
supervisors from different levels, and they had a shortage of nurses because and work staff because they were pulling from different parts of the hospital to focus on the COVID unit, and
Oh, yeah.
and it was
I've
also
heard
said
that
to me
same
that they're
story.
about to open up a whole nother COVID unit at this hospital, and I'm like, dude,
I have heard
and then you got Wheels of Steel and Glory going up there up until what, a week ago, saying everything's hunky dory and we're progressing just like we should be. Well, stop being fucking Trump's bitch boy. Sack up and fucking
Put
stop
the
bullshit.
Old people back.
Oh my God,
in the nursing.
our Democratic viewership is shooting through the roof.
Put fucking all that shit down. Work with the other side. Other side work with this side, and
Our
let's
screen
get
is
this
turning
fucking
blue.
thing fixed. It's annoying, man. It's annoying that we're seeing this getting played like
totally
it is.
It's fucking ridiculous.
This is the great time to realize I don't have the answers, so I really don't and can't care about
It's
this.
funny, both camps now are turning on Betsy.
Oh yeah, I'm sure. She's gonna
They're
be
going nuts on her.
Betsy DeVos?
No.
Wait. Wait, I was like...
Betsy Ding Dong in Fort Worth. Betsy Price.
Betsy Ding Dong.
Oh. Wait, is she the mayor?
Yeah.
Oh.
Because she won't say,
I'm Betsy Price.
Dallas
Fuck
did
you.
a mandatory mask thing, and everybody's like, well, shouldn't Fort Worth be doing it too? Our numbers are shooting through the roof. And she's like, she put out some little tweet the other day that said, y'all wear a mask now.
Like that was her stepping to the plate and taking care of it, huh?
That's just
her citizens.
Just something.
Hi,
Yeah.
I'm
Hey,
Betsy Price.
so is this the good time we
Our big,
send the people,
gigantic
we
head.
send the doubters back out and be like, go
Well,
film your
see,
hospital.
here's
They're
the thing,
saying-
it's-
like, let's
Yeah.
send them back out again. And I know that's a very
Here's what's annoying for industry.
amateur investigative journalist way to do it, but it's still very
Yeah.
interesting. Hey, let's get
No
those
one else
people
is doing it.
Well, they did it before a couple months ago.
No, they
because,
did, but your news
Oh yeah,
outlets aren't going to
It's
do
got
it.
to be your person on the street with
Yeah,
an
because
iPhone.
they have corporate
So
sponsorship.
since
they
they're
have to
saying the
keep
numbers are going
in
up and the
line.
hospitalizations are going
with.
up, we need those people to go back
See-
out who doubt that and get out their phones and
Yeah.
be like, oh, it's all quiet over here. You know,
And here's where it really gets annoying is like the service industry. So, dumbass Wheels of Steel and Glory decides to come out last week and place the blame on the TABC for not staying on top of the restrictions that were when it first started. Which now flips the TABC
Wait, why is it their
into
fault?
fucking grinding an axe and saying, okay, if that's the way you want to do
We'll
it,
go close places.
we'll start going closing places. And then guess what just started happening?
But
They're-
PRs was fucked up. in
No,
Fort
it's not
Worth.
just but the thing.
But
my
there are a
point
lot
is,
of bars that are fucking
right,
blowing this
and
limit.
so now you're gonna
getting
have
people sick.
people that are gonna start getting there's gonna be way more PIs. There's gonna be way more fines and places shut down because fucking dumbass Wheels of Steel and Glory didn't make the right decision from the get-go.
Yeah,
he
it is
started
all his
playing
fault.
games. If he hadn't played games, then we wouldn't be in this condition, and he wouldn't have to fucking sell out the TABC, make the TABC be the fall guy of all these venues and all these clubs and everybody involved. Why does the TABC go? I mean, and now
I like
you've
that
got
they're going out
TABC
and
pissed. They're
hitting
gonna
these-
bitch it. They're gonna get us all. They're gonna shoot us. Shoot us in the field.
I'm happy they're going to these
They're not-
places
it's
that
the
are
TABC,
violating
not the ATF.
and violating by a lot.
Yeah,
Because when you
they
drive
have
by a
been.
bar in Fort Worth and you look in there and there's like, it's at capacity and you're like, what the fuck is going on?
Yeah.
It's a pisser.
Well,
Because you're
Right.
like, why are you fucking
No.
this up for everybody?
Right.
Well,
Okay,
also-
I'm not okay. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying. I'm just. My point is this: we've got a big ass mess that got messier because of Wheels of Steel and Glory. If Wheels of Steel and Glory wouldn't have played politics with this thing, that's the only way you're going to start making the right decisions for your state and your country and your sports teams or whatever. Is fucking focus on what's better for your constituents. Your not your big businesses, your actual people, your communities and stuff. Start fucking focusing on that and throwing the narratives and the politics and all that shit out the window.
Look, November 8th, 2022, we can
You
get
have
this
a
guy
job,
out of office.
so I don't really care what you say.
You can get this guy out of office in 2022.
Oh yeah, I know. That's the other thing. I thought he was working on his last year.
I don't know. It's public information. He just looked it up.
Or
so
maybe
there
he's
you go.
dying, and that is his last year. I'm working
Whoa.
on this on my last year.
Dustin.
Honestly,
Dodge
from
Snyder
someone,
at
both of y'all have
Cherry
jobs,
Jonestown
so
Massacre
y'all can
dot
both go
com.
fuck yourselves. But as
Hey,
someone who doesn't have a job,
Don't hate against us. Don't start spray
That's
painting my
fine.
shit in my room just because I have a
no,
job.
no. Here's the thing:
Don't start taking his statues
As the
down.
regular Joe here, because I don't have a job, and so I'm more regular Joe than you guys, because I'm a victim, and everyone's a victim. If I went to the Kroger near your house, wore my mask, I'd do it. Like I again, like I'm no scientist. I don't care if they work or not.
That one's full of olds up there too.
It just makes everybody feel better. And you know what? Hey, I'm gonna err on the side of caution. Wear the mask. I went and bought 6-pack of Dos Equis, 6-pack of RAR Ugly Pug. If I can't do that, I'll get worried.
Yeah.
Well,
yeah. Are we gonna get delivery back?
What?
If they shut everything down, we're gonna get beer delivery back.
I don't know. Like, it also depends on good luck. Here's the thing about going off against like Greg Abbott or any governor. Good luck shutting down further than we already previously did.
Didn't you hear the intro of the show? He's not going to shut down. He's just going to
Yeah.
mow through the
That's
streets
any
with
governor.
tanks and
That's
guns and
any
kill
governor,
everyone.
Mayor, like how far can you
That's the
shut
end
shit
game.
down?
Everyone dies.
He's like, you want to
That's
make
it.
fun?
You're
You
not
want to
gonna
make
be able
fun
to
of
shut
me and my
down
wheelchair?
the grocery stores and the Walmarts, and then you're just going to go through the whole essential versus unessential arguments.
Yeah.
When it's just like, I sell clothes, let me open up. Walmart sells clothes, I'm just as essential. You're going to have that argument again.
Well, that's
We're
the thing.
just
The thing
gonna have to live with
he's
it.
lost the trust of
I'm
both.
not a politician.
All citizens
I don't have to
are,
deal with this shit.
All citizens are starting to lack trust now of
Yeah.
his ability and the state's ability to get this shit, get things going the right direction.
But also, you can only
sorry, Dustin.
control people. So it's like the bars thing. Like a bar's at a capacity. I'm just like, because one, that bar can only afford to enforce that so much. Like, what are you gonna do? Hire on 3 more door guys or something, monitors? And
Well,
then
they run out of money.
You can enforce this when a bunch of bars are together. But what about your bar off the beaten path?
Yeah.
You also have to send out the inspectors and shit. And
Inspector Gadget.
And then you have to approach overtime with them, whether you want to pay them with that.
Well, if it's like the way TABC used to run Roof Snow, they just bounce place to place to place to place, going up.
Well, there's
Roof
only
Snow
so
like
many
a ping
bars
pong
there.
balls.
I'm talking
There
about
was-
like your.
There was 9 at one
your
time.
West Sevens and shit.
Yeah.
But
Yeah,
that was on a
West
regular thing, regular night, a pre
Saturday.
Yeah,
Well,
regular
see,
Saturday.
the thing
of
that's
yesteryear.
the thing that's annoying too is, I know you want to say
And then
something.
you're gonna have speakeasies.
Is this
People are gonna be serious about speakeasies.
the your first offense? You're just gonna come in now and shut a place down for 30 days after they fought tooth and nail to get back.
But look at what PRs was doing.
I'm
to
not
lose
talking
it.
about just. There was 12 others though.
No,
it
there were
wasn't
12
just
others,
PRs.
but all the videos I've seen from like
deserved it. is what you're
majority,
saying?
they were way overpacked and deserved
Yeah,
it.
there was. But my point is this though: like, if things would have been handled the correct way, if he would have used a think team like you're supposed to, and had a group of non-politicians come in and think this thing through, this is stuff that I think a smart man could totally see down the road coming his direction.
But they're not.
But
have you paid attention
he's
to politicians ever in your life? Do you not realize these people
Yeah,
never
but he's
do
a
the
fucking
correct thing?
attorney. You have to have brains to get a law degree at some point.
Look,
I know there's
the way the
terrible
world is going right now, like you're talking about, that someone should see this coming, but then they don't react. They wait, or they don't act upon it. They wait and wait and wait, and then react when it's too late.
The knee-jerk reaction,
The knee
or
jerk, or the
just the late not preparing
I
yourself.
don't know what to do. Like
That's what all
Betsy's
governments
doing
have
right
always
now.
done. None of this
She's
should
gonna
be
react
shocking.
3 days from now when everybody should have been
There's
wearing
another
masks.
day of 400 cases.
Yeah, but she but yeah, this seeing the world like that is exact. Never mind. It's exactly fucked. I forgot where I was going.
You're doing fine though.
No,
We're doing a podcast in your sweet shed. To me,
I know.
I'm like, shit. Yeah, like it's probably
We're gonna have to
bad
Zoom
in
it.
hospitals. But what, like, at that point, I'm not doing the podcast. I don't. That's just a terrible.
You were
that
saying
sounds
you were
bad.
saying that you're thinking of it as this type of person when you got to realize when you're saying you had something to say about how you're thinking of it in a pragmatic view and you're listening to people that are professionals and stuff, but
and they can't act or react, or they're not.
You're about to come with the
They're
negative
not
to it.
acting upon things like
Yeah.
Betsy Price isn't.
She's
acting.
waiting. She's waiting to
and
feel it out
waiting
what
and
the
waiting.
political wind is blowing.
I said this months ago when all this started. Politics don't count in a pandemic.
No, but they continue to fucking beat that dead
Politics
horse.
don't count.
It's like, dude,
Well, yeah,
that's my
because,
point
well,
exactly. We're not going to get better.
But they are going
if
to
they
be
don't
judged
fucking
on what
drop
they
it.
do. So it does
That's
matter.
just, you know what? That's called being a martyr for your country. Going and fucking doing it. Like that's that's what you do.
Imagine if
look at
you
the
how
first-
hard
Sometimes
you
you
have
gotta
to work
swallow
to
the
achieve a
fucking
political
sword.
office, and you want to throw that all away because of
It doesn't mean,
pandemic?
honestly,
matter.
right
You're
now,
trying
if
to
I was
save
a,
I'm not defending
mankind,
it. I'm just trying to get them to the mindset.
Yeah, I know,
of how
you're
these shitheads
right.
operate.
But that's the thing. None of the politicians that are out there right now have that kind of backbone and step up to be that type of fucking person to be like, look, I don't fucking care what happens to me after this. I want to get my country through this, and I want to try to figure all this shit out and make all my decisions based on that. Not money, not my political affiliation, not any of these fucking lobbyists. I want to do what is best for my community right the fuck now. And until that starts happening, we're fucked. We're fucked.
Wow.
And
I thought
and
I was
there
going to be
has-
the one ranting tonight.
And
You're
the
on
thing
a roll.
is, if you think about it,
Amazing.
you're a true warrior for your country and or your family and your friends and everything. Somewhere there's going to be a point in time where something clicks and you're like, dude, I can't fuck around anymore. I got to try to save as many people as I possibly can and do the right thing and step up and be a fucking man for my country, for my city, for my state, for everyone. There has to be some politicians that starts clicking. I mean, we keep saying this. We're going on goddamn fucking 2 years. Please start making sense, politicians. Bill Maher's been saying this for fucking 20 years now.
Yeah. He
Start
built a whole
doing
career
things
around it.
Stop doing things for
yeah,
big companies.
doing a
Stop doing
career
things
off
for
something you know
narratives.
will
Stop
never
doing things for
change.
talking points. Start doing things just to make yourself, your community, your state, your country, everything a better place. And until that happens, man, we're fucked.
I think shit's just way more
Matt
complicated.
Stubbs for
than-
mayor of Watauga.
And I'll fix the potholes.
Yeah.
By
That's-
putting
that's
what is
what
it?
they
Putting
all say,
bags of
Matt.
shit
That's
in the
what they
potholes.
all say. I
Yeah,
just
you're
know
right.
that
There's people that
being
always
a-
do that.
A mayor, governor, I just know that shit's way more complicated
Yes,
than
ma'am.
I can ever know.
You have a
Someone
question,
has
ma'am?
a point of information. I had a question. Can we still use the term Mexican standoff?
Mm-hmm.
Because a standoff is two people and a Mexican
Absolutely.
standoff is multiple.
Yeah.
Okay, I didn't know if that wasn't right or
Yeah,
not.
it's not Pulp Fiction. It's Reservoir Dogs.
Yeah, where everybody
It's also
stand around.
three guys
It's also Office,
exploring their
The Office.
sexuality, and they don't know who's gonna go first or where.
Let's do it real quick. Let's show an example. Ready?
Start fucking.
No.
All right. Turn the cameras off at least. We can keep the audio.
We unzipping
on.
our pants. I already got a hole in mine.
No, the Mexican standoff. I'm sorry. Ready? 1, 2, 3.
I didn't know what we were doing. So
We're doing it with our eyes.
Oh, I did.
Okay,
I was
we'll do
doing
it with our
guns.
birds.
With the birds. So,
Fuck you. No, fuck you.
can we get a
this
Mexican
standoff
standoff?
was brought to you by Dos Equis.
Dos Equis. Now you made it racist. That made it racist.
Trace.
Yeah, because Mexicans hate Dos Equis.
They actually
I
do, right?
I've got this because I couldn't find Rolling
Because
Rock
you're
at
white.
the Kroger down the street.
Okay, that's gonna
Yeah,
be hard. to
You're
get.
appropriating your beer.
Yeah.
It's
So,
just a cheap Mexican
Mexican
knockoff of
standoff.
Rolling Rock.
Can you say that term?
Greg Abbott, Trump, Biden,
Just looking at each other?
and it turns into a full murder suicide
You have this slow clap?
from the world, the earth.
It's gonna happen.
Yeah, humans got it right. Humans got it right.
And send the emails to Dustin.Schneider@JerryJonestownMassacre.
Did you see what closed downtown because of COVID?
Oh man, what you mean? Downtown? Thompson's. Wow.
Yeah, they had a couple of people come down with it, and they put out a release today that they're going to close,
Like
clean the
permanent.
whole
You mean
place up.
permanently or
No,
like
no,
shut?
just
Oh, okay.
shutting down, cleaning things up, and when they decide to reopen,
Yeah.
they're going to have all these rules doing stuff.
This
It's
one
kinda
thing COVID has, I hope, and I know some people are pretty cognizant of this, but the most vulnerable businesses obviously were the first to get fucked by this because they are vulnerable to begin with, like
Yeah.
restaurants. And this is this, America. I love America. It's great, whatever. But then everyone has this. Everyone's like dream. It's like I want to start a bar. I want to start a restaurant. I'm like,
Skate shop.
you want to start at least a skate shop isn't as risky
Record store.
because you can at least that's just product that's not decaying. Like, they want to start a
Everything on
restaurant
Magnolia.
which is super risky and a bar which I'm like how you have to ask yourself at one point how many fucking bars do you need in a given area? Like and like what you go to enough bars you find one and you stick with it.
I don't like where
probably
this is going,
because-
Brian.
I think
like
you're about to attack our alcoholism.
Yeah, this
I'm-
doesn't sound like a good
I
option.
spent
whatever it
$20
is.
on beer on the way here. I like alcohol, but like
I
I
get
thought that
point.
was very telling of how COVID immediately attacked the most because they are restaurants, bars, and that's all. But those two, the most vulnerable, risky things, because of shit like Guy Fieri and Triple D, it's his fucking dream. Which I love that show.
I like Triple D's.
I'm just like pointing this out of how people's dream might as well like it's better just to keep your day job and try the band thing. That's not as risky.
Well, if you're in a
unless
band, you can't play anywhere. You got to play.
Okay, but
yeah,
like,
you got to play online at
online,
weird
yeah.
well, I know this is all
Second
before-
Life sex shops.
But like, I just want to bitch about people that like I want to open up a bar. I want to open a. I want to.
Did you say
about
Second
those
Mind?
people.
Second
it's like,
Life.
you-
sex shop.
I like
This has
I like
shown
the, I like
how
the strip club
risky-
called Second Line Sex Shows. or what
Someone
was
opens up a
Sex Shop.
restaurant. Everyone's all about it, and it shut down like 6 months later. And I'm just kind of like, yeah, because that's what fucking restaurants do.
No matter
good
what,
ones
with
stay.
COVID or no COVID.
The
yeah.
good ones are able to stay, but it's just like maybe from this.
What about Chuck E. Cheese?
Say we go back to something quasi.
They're still just doing delivery. I don't think they've started. Have they
bankruptcy.
started back in?
$1 billion bankruptcy.
Chuck E. Cheese filed for bankruptcy today.
Say bye bye.
Bye bye, Chucky.
Bye bye.
Damn.
Let the kids go in. They're going back. The kids.
Yeah, where's
are
Brian?
least
Let
aff-
them play in that
kids are
dirty
least
ass ball
affected
pit.
by this.
Where's
You know,
Brian going to hang out now?
Are we not sure
With
that
his hands in
COVID
his
didn't
pants.
I
start
have a niece in that.
in a ball pit at a Chuck E. Cheese in China?
What, that just had some pangolin
'Cause
parts floating around there?
Those ball pits
it was
are
lab
nasty.
manipulated. Can we get on this page now?
They pee and
No,
poop
it
in
wasn't
ball
a wet
pits.
market thing. Germany,
I got a
Australia.
niece and nephew.
It either escaped on purpose or
Fucking genius.
accidentally out of a fucking lab and was lab manipulated. We have scientists talking about how the receptors, it is genetic manipulation, gain of function. It came out of the fucking lab. You know what my
I
biggest
don't know,
fear
man.
is?
I'm still laughing about you. I got nieces and nephews.
They've had birthdays at Chuck E. Cheese.
That's not what you're saying.
It's,
I wasn't.
It's a goddamn joke. Cancel me, please, so I have a
You are
reason
gonna get canceled
to
for
get
that one.
off of social media.
You never
forever.
introduced
You
them
gotta
to
keep
looking for a
Chris
reason.
D'Elia, did you?
I'm looking for a reason. Just you know what I've thought about doing is coming out as a fake Trump supporter, so no one will talk to me ever again. That would just be
No,
that's a
Dude,
fun.
that's the way you get people to stay away
Hey,
from
you
you
saw
socially.
Curb Your
for
Enthusiasm.
sure.
I would
this
love
past
that.
season.
I've
Right.
already been doing that.
What, do you put the hat on?
A month before COVID, I was
Was
going
it-
to open mics, just working on bits. I was drinking a fuck ton less. I
Yeah.
stopped smoking. I was just like, and I was just like, I'm gonna do comedy. I'm still gonna be. I'm not a hermit, but also, you ever just think if you just want to blow your life up, you could just be like
Every night.
Trump 2020, just post that and just be like, tell your close people,
Oh,
tell
I've
the
thought
people
about
close
that
to
the
you
past
that you're
2
doing a
weeks.
bit. You're just like, I just want.
To
I
see
just
what
don't give a
happens.
fuck anymore. I'm not voting for him. I just want to press the eject button on social media and all these people who
You know what I've thought
believe
about doing?
in that type of who live in that type of environment.
You know what I thought about doing?
What?
So I've been Facebook lists on my phone for a week.
Oh, okay.
And that was pretty nice. It was
How's it
weird.
going?
It was pretty nice. It was
You
weird.
need an update on that after you
It's
get
kinda
this, make this
strange.
point.
Well, I put it back on my phone because I was having issues with Messenger syncing
Logging
with
into
it.
some shit.
So it's in the very last page of all my apps now. It's not on the front page, so I
You have
forget
to-
about it.
Oh, that's a good idea.
I kind of
Coulda
forget it's there. I don't get notifications.
Put it back
And
where
so
your
I'll go back-
bills are at.
Yeah, back up in there. But the motherfucker, you did it again when you said that. Put your
Sorry,
bills back
man.
there.
I'm
Son of a
sorry,
bitch.
y'all. I'm like a
What?
mortar.
You got Facebook
Goes off,
your
just
phone.
stops the show.
Totally taking it. And it's been great. And if what I've that's what it was. What I've been thinking about doing is posting like a photo, a badass photo of something, and get the likes way up there.
Yeah.
And then going back like maybe a day later
Editing it.
and changing it into take that picture down and put up like a pro-Trump photo
Oh no, I thought of that a
with
long
all
time
those
ago.
people
'Cause
liking
you can't do it on you can't do it on Twitter.
Wait, is that even? Do you think you could pull that off?
You can
That'd be
swap
the
photos.
ultimate
yeah.
troll.
No, you can swap photos.
You can go back, find the thing
People-
that got the highest likes ever,
And you can change
and
everything
go back
about it?
and change it to anything, and then call out everybody that liked it.
They're
and
like,
they'll
"Why
be like,
did you guys
"Why
like
didn't
this?"
you-" And then you can
from
play that fun.
2014.
Then you can play that fun fucking game.
Yeah.
Like it's like the
Yeah,
people
man.
that fucking
Yeah.
link that someone's like, hey,
I can't do
unfriend
this.
these people
This
that
is gonna
showed you
change
how
my
many people
life.
like Trump's Facebook page, like that fucking link. Do that
Yeah.
because
This
it's
is
like
gonna change life for me, man.
That's what I wanted to do.
I'm gonna be
is go
changing the
back-
course of
you can
history.
change a picture.
Go
too,
back
so
in time. Go back in time to a picture.
Yeah,
and say,
man.
man, all you
I
guys,
like this.
all you guys 2 years ago were pro Trump.
Well, fuck
Yeah.
this, dude.
Screenshot it. Find a recent
You
post.
know
and be
what,
like,
dude?
Can you
You
explain
know what?
yourself?
Okay, so
sir?
can I go
Like,
back
wait,
in
you
my
posted,
history
yeah,
and
it's
be
not
like
about me, it's
fucking
about you.
before like Apple went public or something and be like, I just bought a bunch of stock in Apple, Facebook, and all these badass Starbucks, but it didn't refresh. But I just did it. Like edit it to that.
That won't work.
No,
That
I don't
won't
think
work?
that'll work.
That's
I
way
don't think you can.
buying stocks is probably a little bit more official than
So-
a Facebook.
so-
page.
I think trying to work at a company and round off all the little bitty numbers
Yeah.
until they all add up is
What
way
if
more.
what if I'm
efficient
like
than what
what
you
if I'm
just
like
said.
the Office
see,
Office Space / Superman.
I just put a
Yeah,
bet
from
down that the
Superman.
Dallas Cowboys would win the Super Bowl back in '94, and I never
Oh,
got
no,
my
no, no, no,
payment.
no. My,
No, you
my
want
buddy,
to burn people.
Actually, yeah, you're giving
no,
yourself
my
away if you
buddy
do it that
Paul,
way.
my buddy,
you want to burn people.
my comic buddy Paulos, funny fucking dude. He did something like that with COVID.
Mhm.
Like he got a post. It was a couple months ago. He did it. It was a post from like let's say sometime March 2019, and he went in, edited it about having this weird dream, and he was just like kind of vague, but mostly pretty vague, but also just like, and there was like a specific like Mexican beer, and just like made it seem like he had a dream about COVID a year ago. Oh, yeah. So no, it can be weaponized to some
That's a
hilarious
what if you
results.
crazy.
what if you made a
But
movie
no,
about just how
do the
all of a
Trump
sudden
thing.
humans
That's
had the power
hilarious.
to alter their past completely, like go back in time, and it was just a constant fight between humans, like just saying that they like you basically completely talk yourself out of existence because you have the capability of going back in time and like I did this, I did that, da 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 da, and it just becomes this big battle of survival, but it's in reverse. Bam. That's why I get the big bucks of being in the think team.
I don't know what the fuck you're talking about.
I think that was Back to the Future 2.
You just
Sprinkled with some
described.
Matrix.
Yeah, I
You
think
just,
that's what you just described.
Yeah.
So I guess if you're a person that's committed sex crimes, now's the time to pull them off with everything else going on.
Jesus, I would
Yeah.
hope not. Please don't.
Did you see everybody that came out?
Yeah, talking
This-
about
in this
the
past week?
yeah. There has
Yeah.
been some activity in the
Or you
hashtag
could
Me
talk to
Too.
Chris D'Elia, and
Well,
all that shit.
Yeah,
Yeah,
well,
with-
let's start with one.
Which one, Chris?
Yeah, let's go ahead and start with Chris. What's the full
His
story
is
on
the
this one? His is
creepiest.
the one that's like he's been soliciting, or not soliciting, but grooming younger women. Is it what it is?
Yeah,
Is that what
underage
it's-
women.
So,
Underage
to
women?
me, I'm like, well, this is something I think is mostly going to remain in the court.
What's the evidence on
the
on
court of public
Pictures,
opinion?
Twitter exchanges.
like screenshots and stuff.
I think so. Yeah. I
Yeah,
don't know.
And then exchanges and photos exchanged.
I was
with him.
listening to
How
Tim,
do you prove
Tim
that
Dillon,
stuff's authentic?
and he was
though?
talking
Isn't there
about
ways to do
how-
it.
It was Neil of Chappelle's show. Forget his last name, but he was just he was Neil Brennan. He was like Neil Brennan's coming out here from the fucking left field. Like it's technically hebophilia. I'm like, okay, like that's a little. So I don't know the details or don't know if what he did was illegal.
It
So
was.
it-
It was
is it
underage
legal?
girls, and he was trying to talk them into seeing, like when he would come to their town.
That's the case. Yeah, totally. Like
Hey, let's meet up after the show, or if you're at the show, here's you some tickets. Come backstage.
Knowing
hang
they're
out, blah, blah,
underage
blah,
Yeah.
here's
and all
this,
that
Has
shit
there been any
already?
charges or
Okay.
anything on
We'll
Chris?
see. It's still pretty new. So
It's
I mean,
still
we'll
being
see.
investigated, but
Yeah.
the-
Man, I
right now
hate
it's
to hear
all
that.
allegations.
I hate
but
to hear all these fucking.
There is a
comedians and
fun
shit.
video clip of like he was on a podcast and someone was saying something. It was like it's talking about Snapchat, and
Yeah.
he didn't know that if you like you can screen cap Snapchat
Yeah.
things, even though they
Yeah.
say they go away. But my girlfriend's telling me that if you screen cap it, that person knows.
Yeah, there's
they send you a
notifications.
notification.
So, but he like, and they assume like they kind of. I think there's some that zoom in on his face where it shows him just kind of like
Whoa,
realizing,
you can do that?
oh, Snapchat can be forever, and I'm just like, if this is all the case, that's fucking hilarious.
It is hilarious.
And he should
he
be-
played a child.
He should get the book thrown at him, like
Didn't he- play a child predator on 2 different shows?
I know of. I don't watch it, but you and then maybe an episode of Workaholics.
Workaholics is the one they pulled off, but I knew about
really?
you where he was
okay.
he was stalking.
That's one I just heard
chick.
people were saying. I'm like, okay, which is like fucking, jokingly self-fulfilling prophecy or something like that.
Yeah.
It's either he knew he was already doing that, and it was just like, hey, I'm taking this because it's secretly the evil me inside, or
So I wanted to ask this.
He's a sicko and can't even.
I asked this the other day, but I want to see what you think. What he's doing, if all this is true, with these girls, versus what Louis C.K. did.
I think
Louis C.K. didn't technically do anything criminal. I don't.
I think
think.
if this involves
he
underage
did, they
though,
That's you can't get.
Louis
Out
was
of that,
never
right?
an underage thing.
yeah, his was never an underage thing, and
It
Louis was
was-
fucking kind of. Man, I don't like talking about
This
Louis
is why
at all.
the
because,
divide of Louis isn't as
He
bad.
had a lot
as,
of female supporters come out and support him.
Yeah, exactly. And a
That-
lot of stuff that he was
it's just
accused
something
of,
he did.
you're like, dude, what?
If you want to be really
The
crass,
position
if
of
you want to be
power-
really crass about it, you could take the angle of, well, they just regret it, and then you're like, okay, and then you can have fun with all that argument. So like what, and then
But you're
you know,
talking about grown ass adults making bad decisions as opposed to underage kids making
Yeah,
bad
yeah, yeah.
decisions.
I mean,
is-
that's
is
the
way
vast
you can't-
difference.
Yeah.
the Louis thing, but it's just you have this argument that you just there's no fighting. It's the defense and offense is just going to end up more fighting within the comedy world and on Twitter and shit.
Why does the comedy
of-
world have such noodle
of-
gun syndrome?
Well,
Speaking of
well here let me-
pod, yeah,
Uh,
no,
so
no.
you could
Can I
have the
talk
whole
about
it's
that?
2 consenting adults, but then you also have the other argument of he's using his power, over
power,
her.
it's just as
And
much
then
as
you're
taking
like,
control.
well,
It's like,
there'll when arguments like that which some are valid, some are not, all of them are up to opinion. When you have arguments like that, you will not have a resolution. Because that's
Yeah, it's like-
the
it's
court
like-
of public opinion.
it's like
there's
abortion
never a
and
fucking
like pro-life
resolution.
and pro-choice. You're like, there's never
Yeah,
gonna
there's
be a
not,
fucking
which is
there's
hilarious.
there's never going to be a happy
I
medium
love-
with killing
I
things.
love
Or determinating,
the
I'm sorry,
possible
sorry.
weight of the conspiratorial
Stubbs
pro-life
died.
side when they say it's like
Matt.Stubbs
that's
at
black genocide. I'm just like, oh my god, the weight you have against the pro-choice when you have that,
yeah.
like that to me is just kind of like, oh, it is like if that's the way you define it, it's a genocide, and I'm just like, oh shit, like when I first heard that, I'm just like,
Yeah, semantics
I'm-
is fucking
Yeah,
in everything
pro-choice.
about all of it.
I personally make the I always had of like I don't want to put a woman in that position. That's my position of like birth control all the way. I don't even
That
want you.
sounds like a
I don't
song.
even want you to have
Birth
to
control all the
go
way.
and park in the
Birth control
parking
all
lot
the
of a
way.
Planned Parenthood or
Birth
get an
control all
abortion.
the way.
I think that should be
It's a great place
most
to pick up
people.
chicks.
Heard that, but
That's an old one.
oldie but goodie.
An oldie, but a good.
So I have personally never put anyone in that position. I don't want to because I don't even want them to have to even
Yeah.
broach that question
Mhm.
because it's a super sad thing for everybody and all that shit. But man, when you're pro-life and you call like pretty much all abortions like a death, like you have a fucking nuclear bomb of genocide, in your pack of ammo. To me, that's just like that's fucking insane. I've always enjoyed that argument because like that's a weighty one to throw at someone,
So-
and that to me has always been very interesting.
Chris was
How does this
Chris.
relate
I
to
don't think
this
is the
thing?
worst of this past week. Finally, Danny Masterson getting
Yeah.
charges for shit people's known for 10 years.
Yeah,
Uh,
that was the least
secret thing in the
secret one,
world.
Yeah,
I was talking about when they had that big, basically
That's
that
a win for
70s
Leah
show
Remini.
reunion up at North by 35 or whatever
Oh, the Denton thing.
Denton wants to turn it
Yeah.
into or calls it, whatever these days, or back then. But everybody said, wow, you're letting this sex creep up here that's got all these allegations against women, raping them and stuff. And
Oh,
blah, blah, blah."
Masterson was hanging about that. Oh, okay.
That was being said back then. That was like
Oh.
10, 12 years ago, something like that. Damn. So people have known about this.
It's weird they know
It's
about
just
it.
finally
and then
he's getting taken
what-
care of.
It's what's weird is how long a lot of these things take to marinate. Like some are like the Cosby thing. That was a weird, like you hear from celebrities, and some people are just like, oh, that was kind of like a inner circle open secret. And to me, like of like Cosby doing that, it's like, oh, plenty of people knew. And to me, I'm just kind of like
The
all right,
Weinstein
who the
thing,
fuck,
same way.
Same with Weinstein. I'm like, who the fuck knew? And yeah, I understand. And this is where the whole they were scared and power argument. I'm just like, oh, they knew, but they were afraid to say anything. I'm like, there's comes to a point.
See,
I'm like,
I don't think
you
that
have to
I would ever.
recognize
Would
the
you ever be that type of
damage you're doing.
celebrity? You'd
Like,
always be like, "What the fuck? That's fucked up, man."
I'm going to the authorities. Like,
Yeah, and
I
your buddies would
completely
have to talk to you.
understand.
Whoa, 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 Brian! If you do that, here's the deal:
But
you're
wait
not
a
going to get
second.
this. You're not going
Wait
to
a
get that.
second.
You're not going to get this.
Wait
You're
a
not going to get
second.
that. Like, how does that even work?
I know us.
We'd probably run our
We
mouths.
would
We'd be like,
do
"What
that.
the
Wait,
fuck?"
What would be the thing you would finally go, what the fuck? I'm not doing that.
If it had to do with if it had to do with underage, no matter what,
pedophilia
and if it had to do with fucking
child
like,
trafficking.
just some like any of the evil shit, like fucking, like if you were hanging out with someone, like if you were there when Chris Brown punched fucking Rihanna, wouldn't you be like, "What the fuck, dude?"
That's the hottest woman I have ever seen in real
See,
life.
I'd have to hold you. I'd be like, "Whoa, Dustin, I don't, dude."
I'd punch
like,
him
whoa.
off of her and take her
I'd have to-
away.
Yeah, I'd have to peel you off him.
She was gorgeous.
We say
She
that.
still is.
We say
She's
that.
not dead.
And we wanted.
When I saw
we
her,
say
she
that,
was gorgeous.
in
and
person.
we want
Yeah.
to do the right thing. Well, everybody does.
But then again,
But
you're gonna
so
have your
few
agent
of
and stuff
us-
in your ear going, "Do
Yeah.
not say a fucking word."
you want they'll
That's
be
the
like, you
thing.
want to get booked
I
for
touched
anything
her.
ever again, you will not say a fucking word. And I believe, same thing
Thomas.
with everything
Tom, go.
going on. The comics
I
around
brushed
Chris,
up against
Chris
her.
D'Elia that probably knew about this, going back to the biggest fish possible of Bill Cosby and Harvey Weinstein. Like, people, they amass maybe a couple $1 million or something like that, and they got a few more waiting for them in their career. And
I touched her.
if they come out and say anything about Cosby, Weinstein, and their agents, like sitting there, it's like, you
Yeah.
do not say a fucking thing about this if you want this gravy train to continue
Yeah,
for you.
yeah.
There comes a point where I want, like, yeah, you could be like, oh, I worked so hard to get to this point. I flushed it all away for when, like, I hate that fucking argument because I'm like, fuck you if you like if and there's so many, there's probably hundreds.
This would be a really good
Or
conversation to
thousands
get into
that
with an
know-
actor or actress.
Oh
Like,
yeah, but
in
they
the
won't.
business.
They won't say anything. You get them on a
I bet you
podcast,
someone
they'll still
will.
leave out proper nouns, and they'll say, "I knew a director. I knew this."
You don't
I
think
hate
there's
it when
one
people
B-list
don't
like
name
or
names.
B
Like,
character that would be like, "Fuck this, my career is pretty much over anyway. I don't give a
some
shit." And just
Isaac
fucking.
Campy.
But
You
the
want to go
problem-
that route?
See, here's
There's a
here's where
name
here's
for
where
ya.
it gets evil. When someone finally does that, then guess what? All of Hollywood all of a sudden turns on him and is like, "What the fuck?"
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Oh,
No,
he's got
that's
look
what
at
they
he's
do.
Corey
got problems.
Haim.
Yeah, look at Corey.
Or
Oh, he's
Corey
got
Feldman.
problems.
He
He's got
gets
problems.
close, but
Corey Haim
never
really has problems.
He gets close.
Haim's a little
but
dead.
never. That fucker never delivers.
Just a wee bit.
He talks a big game, but never delivers.
He didn't deliver.
But my point is this: no matter what, if let's say he did deliver and he was delivering the
Yeah.
goods, people would still be like, "I mean, look at him. He's got some emotional
Oh no,
problems
that's what
right
they
now."
always do.
And they'd make you the fucking black sheep of Hollywood, and like,
No, that's what they've done to everybody.
That's
Chappelle,
what I'm saying.
Cat Williams,
it's
Mel
that's
Gibson,
the biggest force of evil.
the
Is that
crazies?
That's
Yeah.
when you get Alex Jones talking about fucking, "I will eat your ass," is when he goes down this train of thought of, it's just over and over layers and layers of protection and
Yeah.
power and money and just
And
evil shit.
with what we know, and you could apply this like to the Epstein. You could throw in Epstein, Weinstein, Cosby. When there's all
Hey,
these
man.
people, to me, the biggest what you see below the big mass of the iceberg is all these people around that knew this shit was happening.
Yeah.
But in order to maintain their livelihood, their client's livelihood, their boss's livelihood, they didn't say shit.
Mhm.
That, I think, is what eventually keeps people from not talking, because they're like,
Yeah.
well, one person breaks away here, one person breaks away there. You can always come down on them and say, they're on crack with Dave Chappelle. Hat Williams was doing that, like, they're drunk, and now they have to go to rehab.
but
And
one thing that needs to
I
be
want that to break open so bad, and if that happens, it all comes down.
Yeah.
one
And that
thing we
would be
need
glorious.
to re-relate
and
that
the
we
honest
barely touched on.
people, we would give a career to. We would be like, that person
Okay.
spoke up, and they risked it all, and they're not, they deflected enough of the crazy allegations because they're so fucking. You need a big time fucking fish. You need like a Robert Downey Jr. You need a fucking top celebrity to come out, and people call them crazy. That there's only you can only bring them down so much. But also, if they're big enough, they can't be brought down. You get a few of them together, and they'll be like,
none of them are gonna do that. They're all in the
I
same
know,
fucking
and that's
club.
where it sucks. You'll get your occasional crazies, and that's what keeps the conspiracies going too. Because like with the Tom Hanks thing and all that, it's just like you
Okay.
have one girl that's straight up saying,
We get it. We got it. But we gotta put in there because it's getting hammered here over here. Is that something Matt touched on? Is that sometimes it's hard for the women to speak up in these situations, and they can't come out. They feel threatened. They are scared to death.
And then you tie that in also with their damn
What can
career.
happen. Yeah,
and
because they think they'll lose their career. Or
yeah,
whatever,
women got it fucking worse.
It's held as a threatening move.
Exactly, man. And then also you got some ladies that like you'll have some, this gets back. Remember that fucking article that came out about hurtcore, about how it's almost the same
Is that a
thing.
new genre of music?
No, it's that when people it's
hardcore, but you
the
hit
dark
each other?
web when people would like start blackmailing people with pictures that they already took, and it starts getting worse and worse and worse till they'll have like a girl licking a toilet with shit on it and stuff and eating it. It's like that.
never heard like.
I don't go
Hurtcore.
to
It's
the
called
sites you
hurtcore.
go to.
And
No,
it's
this was
pictures of the
there was an
person you're
article in like
trying
Rolling
to
Stone
attack?
about it.
I haven't
Okay,
read a
here's how
Rolling
it
Stone
works.
front to back in years.
This is how I tied into what you all were talking about with women in Hollywood and stuff. So what happens is, I think with hurtcore is you'll get a girl, you'll get some young kid and say, "Hey, I need you. You're really beautiful, da da da, or you're pretty, and da da da. And do you think if I got this sweater that I'm trying to describe to my wife? Do you think you could send a picture of you in this type of sweater? Innocent, right?
That doesn't sound innocent.
No.
That sounds weird.
Okay, so the girl does it, right? She takes a picture because she's dumb, doesn't know better, and sends the picture to this person.
Yeah.
Then this person says, and it's one of those. It's a off the shoulder picture. Hey, that's really cool. I'm gonna do I'm in an art class, and I'm gonna show this as this is gonna be part of my piece. Can you pull your shirt down a little bit and just show some cleavage or something like that? A little bit farther, right? So the person, the
Finally
victim,
reaches us in the strip club taking pictures with other girls.
the victim goes ahead and sends the picture of themselves showing cleavage. Okay, hey, now can you do this? This time I really need you to show me a boob, right? No, I'm not comfortable doing that. Well, if you don't do this, then I'll start sending this. Your mom has asked about seeing some of these pictures. I'll start showing these pictures to your parents. And then they're like, "Oh shit!" And then they'll show a boob.
Just snowballs,
and it
into
just
even
snowballs to
worse
where the reason
worse
it's
black-
hurtcore comes in is to
Hardcore
where how
black.
hard you can take someone. And there's been deaths. There's been people that have killed like people and shit, like babies and
I've
stuff.
never even heard of this.
I think it was Rolling Stone was the one that did an article about it, about it's one of the most evil things on the dark web is this form of abuse, and because it's basically you're torturing someone from the inside out.
Well,
kind
if
of.
you download a Tor browser, then I think a lot of
I have
laws
one
shouldn't
on
apply to
this
you.
computer, and I have one on
don't
this computer.
don't have a Tor browser, and I will be fair to you in my judgment of your actions. But
I
if
have
you're,
one on
if you're
this
fucking
computer,
around on
and
the
I have
dark
one on this
web,
computer.
you deserve whatever comes your way because that has never
I was buying
been
drugs
promoted.
for Matt.
It's never
We
been
did it
no,
on a show.
wait,
never been told
months
safe
ago.
I don't
space.
think that's they don't find their victims on the dark web.
I know.
But
It
that's
is-
where they
that's
just-
where they.
But
that's
that's
where
how
they
you framed it, so I had to
posted.
go.
Yeah,
there.
no. The way they find their victims is just fucking Facebook
Yeah.
and shit. Normal
Regular social
yeah,
media.
regular social media. It's
Where are
just,
we at?
man, we getting late on dumb shit.
No, we're doing good.
Anyway, I imagine
Yeah.
getting back to our original thought process about
Kurt
Hollywood and
Cobain's
stuff.
unplugged guitar went for $6 million.
Damn,
That's
you knew
where
it
we
was
started.
though. So
$6
what I'm getting back to though is you have to imagine that as far as women out in Hollywood too, how it's even probably harder because a dude like right now if someone said Stubbs, so and so's got a dick picture of you, I'm like okay, fuck it, I don't
So?
care, let them show it, I don't fucking care like that. But a woman the woman can get hit up with, hey, you don't want these pictures to leak, do you? Because I could tell your parents are going to see it, your mom's going to see it, and all this. And so they get taken advantage of even more out in Hollywood in that regards.
Yeah.
It's like,
It's a
it's an evil place.
At what point do people? You tell someone, be like, you knew how evil this possibly was, but you still got involved and were part of the overall evil.
So you're a part of it now. Yeah, I don't know.
Like
man.
at
That's
some
crazy.
point, you're just like, either you got into it knowing that.
Yeah.
There is a degree of to some degree, you knew this was a piece of shit place, or you chose to remain ignorant, or some of the both. And I know everyone goes into it honestly, but it's also like, at what point do you take responsibility of this? Has been plenty of examples of this being a piece of shit, evil place that will exploit you,
and you just put yourself into position
and
to
you're
be another
still going on
victim.
auditions. I'm like, you can't,
I don't know, man.
defend the evil shit that happened, but also it's just kind of like,
You're still
I'm
going.
voluntarily going into this war zone, like,
Yeah.
but you're safer
Maybe this
here.
place will be different.
There's risk with everything.
Yeah.
And what sucks is you can make it in comedy out. It's hard, but you can make it outside of the New York, LA thing. It is hard. It requires
Yeah.
work, but if you do it smart, you can.
See, it's
Hollywood,
kind of a double-edged
a
sword.
lot harder because it's like DC is to politics.
Like we need
big-time
this to happen.
politics.
Like honestly, it's like a double-edged sword because we need Hollywood needs to get this. I mean, it's kind of weird, but we're in this state now where it's actually starting to get taken care of. We've always talked about this
Yeah.
shit.
We
People have
need
talked
some
about
It's just
it,
coming
fish
out.
to go down.
but
speak out.
but
or go
now
down.
it's starting to fall apart, and it's starting to get tied. And the people that are tied in politically and stuff are starting to get taken down too. So
So I've always campaigned throughout the years that we should just load maximum payload on a B-52, fly it out of Carswell,
head west
Bank.
or northwest.
bank towards 199, and
You have.
Make sure to get all the PAs.
This is one of your. This is one of your
just
campaign
once you cross the Lake Worth Bridge,
points. Yeah.
open up the bay
hard-hitting
doors
stance that
and
you take.
just
Yeah, take it
drop
out.
it to Springfield.
Yeah. So are you saying do that to them or Hollywood?
So should we load one up,
Take it to Hollywood too?
take a little cruise up Ventura Boulevard? When we reach the Hollywood Hills, we open the bay doors and just let them go.
kind of like the scene from
Nah.
Iron Man 3
Good or bad?
Iron Man 2. He gives them.
I think I'm out.
He gives them the address.
Dustin,
and they just send missiles.
I think I'm
Kinda
out.
like, why'd you do
I think
that?
I'm out on carpet bombing.
Springtown,
LA.
not Springfield.
Get a map to the stars and go kick some ass.
Yes.
Dustin
just open up.
Dustin Schneider, I'm out on that. On talking about carpet bombing.
And we're going to Jimmy
Hollywood.
Kimmel's house.
I'm not saying that.
Carpet bomb
If-
the red
If
carpet.
I did, I would
Yeah,
I would
baby.
send you an
That's your
email
slogan.
at dustin.schneider@jerryjonestownmassacre.com.
We rent up a little B-52, and on the night of the Oscars, we just roll down Hollywood Boulevard.
You and I would be terrible pilots. If I was your co-pilot and you just said something like that on the air, and me having to fucking trying to fishtail the thing back into place, and like, okay, ladies and gentlemen, Captain Dustin, what he meant to say was, the carpet bombings that we have on this plane. No, there's not. It's not
So, let me
literally a
get this
carpet
right. Hold
bomb on this plane.
We're
but if
flying
there
the
was,
route. We're flying the route to
you'd be
and
like, no,
from
there's-
L.A.
Yeah.
And every time we fly into L.A., I just happen to have the mic on
Yeah.
and go, God damn! Don't you
And
wish
I have
this
to
was
cover
a
it up.
B-52 and we could just open the bay doors?
This
and
is
just
how I make my money.
bomb all of Hollywood.
This is how I
as
make
we
my
fly
money. I'm like,
over?
dude, I got to cover this shit up. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, it's co-captain Matt Stubbs, and what he was talking about there, he was working on some lines.
This is technically labeled a comedy podcast.
He's working.
so you can get away with
He's
everything.
working on some lines, and he's going to do an audition because we're landing in Hollywood. Yeah.
Yeah. Give it a
Okay, and then you're like, no, I'm not, Stubbs. This is it. I'm fucking.
Here's what's it with the Chris D'Elia stuff. It's also like because him and Whitney Cummings are. It's kind of like she's
They've
come
done a
out
show
saying
for
I've
years."
learned all this stuff,
Yeah.
but a lot of people are just kind of like,
Yeah.
no, what did you know? And not say anything about it because it's like how close can you be with someone and you not
Yeah, they're
know
still
their
buddies.
yeah. It's like and that's like
And they're
you
still
know,
in the
he was
same
on her
scene,
show.
the round
Yeah,
circles.
yeah.
So it's just kind of like
If
yeah,
he
it's like,
if he
oh,
doesn't
you're
get
acknowledging this now.
if he doesn't go if he did something like this and he doesn't go to jail, he better go to jail for the fucking Da Vinci Code of a last name he has.
I
when I
just
try to
hate
say
when
that.
a person goes down, but there's all these
Delia? Or is it
other people that don't go down.
How do you say the damn name? Delia? It's like
Del-
Delio, except
Delia.
Delia.
Chris
Delia?
Delia.
Yeah, that's what he should get
I
in trouble
hear it
for. Is
say
that
Chris
last-
D'Elia.
Yeah, I thought it
Oh,
was
Delia. That's
Yeah.
probably.
But it
that.
looks like Delia.
I'm sure he had. That was one of his first jokes he wrote was about his last name.
Can I?
I'm just rewriting his material.
Can I roll into my rant for the week?
Yeah, you got some good stuff apparently. I came in and you were the pilot going Ladies and gentlemen, what
Ladies
I would
and
like to
gentlemen,
happen
what I'd like
today.
to do now is,
yeah, man. You had some rants. Let's
so
hear it.
I've got a rant that kind of started on, I think it was Sunday. When did you post that picture?
Oh, the
Monday?
it was
Time out
Monday.
before we get into
Stevie Ray
this.
Vaughan.
Okay, yeah.
So this continues to be a thing. So I'm starting to think maybe we need a rant segment, right?
Yeah.
If we do a rant segment,
We need an intro.
can the intro be Paula Abdul? Let's hear it for the boss.
That wasn't
Let's
Paula
hear it.
Abdul.
Oh, it wasn't?
No.
Who was that?
Wasn't that the what's her name from the Pointer Sisters that just died?
No, it's Paula Abdul, man.
No.
Look at the chat room. Let's hear it
Oh
for
no,
the
it's Denise
boss.
Williams.
Was it?
Yeah.
Oh, man.
And from Footloose.
Yeah, that's got to be our theme music, okay?
Now my rant started on Sunday because I saw what had happened in San Francisco overnight. They toppled three statues. And while two of them I agree with, one of them I'm kind of like, come on now. And that one is the Francis Scott Key statue.
Francis Scott Key?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And that statue...
I don't even think I heard about that one.
You didn't? In the Golden Gate Park in San Francisco?
Yeah, I've been dodging a lot of that stuff, so there's a lot of stuff that's going to get out of my radar here.
Well, I don't want to get into the whole reason why Francis Scott Key statue
got torn down.
Well, it got torn down because he owned slaves. He owned slaves at one time.
All right.
And that seems to be the target now. Instead of it being the Confederate statues or the statues, the
like
Klan.
soldiers and shit.
The soldiers, the statues, the Klan paid for, donated, or, funded. It's now turning into, we need to go after the forefathers that owned slaves. Because even though that was the thing at the time to do, and they didn't, they probably knew better. They should have known better. But you just did it, not knowing any better.
Yeah.
Did all of them? I don't know. But they, our first, 18 presidents owned slaves, even when they were in office. So why are you going after their statues? They were just doing, it's like, it's confusing why you're attacking slave owners now, because throughout history there's been slave owners.
I don't know. It's weird.
Find me a country that's never had.
Well, that's what I was gonna say.
Ever.
It's is it because
Greenland?
is this happening because African Americans feel like they are the most recent, and it's like you just what you said. There's every country has had slaves and stuff. Is the reason why we got to tear our history down because it's the most recent? Or are all countries doing this right now, going back and trying to completely rewrite their history and tear down shit?
They tried to tear one down to Cecil Rhodes. So I'm like, if you want a monster of history, he's a pretty good example.
Well, my
They're trying
point.
to tear one down.
My point is,
it's going on in Europe too.
It is
right now.
So but is it going on for groups outside of African Americans? Is anyone getting upset because they were slaves?
And they don't break down
Egypt.
their protest marches over there.
I'm curious about Latin American countries.
And all the interviews I've seen over
Me
there,
too.
it has been black individuals, but like I was talking the last couple of days with some of our friends, how racist England is.
Oh yeah, I'm
even
sure,
against
man.
their own people that are inside the empire. They're racist against or give a hard time to or whatever, dick around with. But I don't know. Because England's racism has been all the refugee crisis that's going on.
And then not just England, like Europe. It's
all
going
of Europe,
especially the Ukraine and all
Italy
those
had
areas
an issue
and
when
stuff.
I went over there.
Remember about weren't they having a big problem with some of the EPL games when they would go to certain stadiums? There would be just straight up just complete flat out neo-Nazi and racist anti-Semitic and anti-African American shit said all the time.
I think it's funny how many progressive hippy dippy kind of people love soccer. I'm just like, if you want a good example of racism, go to a fucking European soccer game.
Oh shit! Can you imagine that?
Remember the glory days of urine bombs?
Yeah,
great. You piss in a balloon or a condom, tie it off, and just chunk it at fans of the other team. Let it explode.
I'm a
on
civilized person. I never did anything that way.
Okay, anyway. So here,
My dad really
issue
never
was,
recommended
Is that what
that
you're going
when
to
we
do
went
for the
to baseball
Vaqueros game?
games
Are we going to
together.
start throwing
that's what
urine
I'm gonna do.
bombs?
Those
Vaqueros
cherished
games.
memories of going to baseball games with my dad, yeah, that was never really part of the equation.
So what aggravated me most,
I didn't grow up in
was
Boston.
watching some interviews on national news outlets about these statues coming down.
Yeah.
On 2 different channels, I saw 3 different people say the same thing in interviews. All statues should be brought down.
That's
no
probably
matter what.
That's
we
probably
need to
about
bring
what's about to
everything
happen.
down. We need to go
Wouldn't
over to
be
Europe
surprised.
and we need to start attacking statues over there and desecrating works of art. Which brought to question, why are you wanting to destroy statues of European artists?
It's
Like
that's the thing that
The
people
David
bring up a lot of times
Thinking
is where does
Man.
this end?
do you go to Stonehenge
And I
fuck
think
it
the
up?
you know how I think it ends, honestly, is this. Stop looking at social media.
Is your computer gonna still open? Gonna start
Fuck. Did I just cancel the show?
You might have just canceled the show.
I canceled ourselves.
But my anger came out of why are you starting to attack these works of art, or why are you putting out a call to attack works of
I
art?
literally put in a group message on Facebook I have, just joking around with some people, literally talking about something. I did a hashtag that says not all statues. Because that's eventually, I love predicting the future thing. Like exactly what you're saying.
We were
Where does
talking
this
about
end?
this months ago, that once they pulled down the Confederate statues, what's next?
Yeah.
And now
You
here
know,
we are.
And now we're at the forefathers, and then
Yeah.
today or yesterday,
What's-
Sean King put out a call
White
to
Jesus
start
statues.
ripping down all the
Yeah.
white Jesus statues.
So,
I'm like, that's.
so see
I think
all the white
this
like
shit needs
like
to be
any white
seen.
Jesus, you're taking
Yeah.
like
All the light,
all the
and
dashboard.
white
What if you see one on
Jesus.
a dashboard? You're gonna jump through their car and fucking rip it down? Like no white
Where
Jesus
does
here.
this stop?
I don't know.
Where
man.
does this end? Do we start pinpointing specific artists and we're like, fuck Rodins, let's go hunt them all down and tear them down, and then once you're done with them, you go after.
Here's a upgraded
I
upgraded
don't know, man.
mentality.
It's a scary thought.
And then you
Here's
hit
a very
prediction.
scary thought.
the 7 Wonders. We gotta fuck those places up now too.
This is why I'm glad I don't have a job where I have any real power, which has always been a question I want to have people like when they like talk about politics and shit like that. I want to ask them, how much power have you had in your life? And for most people, it's nothing. Like I was a
Hey.
shift manager at a Freebirds, still didn't have much power. But okay, so you want to take the statue one further? This is where I predict if somebody wants to take my advice and take this to an insane angle, let's not just statues, not just artists. Let's attack Roman architecture.
That's
That
coming.
was my
That's
a
probably
argument
lot
coming.
on
of fed-
Saturday.
Oh, really? That's
That's
a lot
probably
of
what's
federal
coming.
building.
Are you gonna take down the Coliseum?
That's what's probably coming.
No, I'm talking about like DC.
Dude, our
buildings in
military.
DC.
Yeah.
That's the
You're
thing.
like that's modeled after
Countries'
Roman
military are
architecture.
going to start
Hold on.
wasting.
Y'all are getting
uh,
ahead of my rant.
We're
Oh,
about
yeah,
to
yeah,
start wasting
'Cause this is all it.
wasting money and stuff on protecting these monuments.
And I want to clear something up to the chat room who might have missed it. I'm not talking about, I said at the beginning, I'm not talking about Confederate statues. I'm not talking about statues that the Klan supported. I'm not talking about statues that are
Francis
that
Scott
the
Key wrote the
BLM
Star Spangled
is
Banner,
pulling
right?
down right now. But slave owners, like you just said, you have monuments in Washington D.C. You're going to go tear down the Jefferson
I
Monument?
don't know, man. I don't
This type
know
of mentality doesn't have like a natural.
if there's a cat
break.
to it.
It doesn't have any
Yeah,
brake
it does.
pads. It doesn't have a
Unfortunately, it's
natural
war.
stopping point.
Yeah, it does.
Well, that's
Unfortunately,
no.
Civil War is what it's going to end
in
up
the
happening.
guise of tearing down statues. There's no stopping point. It's got to
Yeah.
get to an insane,
That's right.
overblown
fucking
Sean King,
stupid.
all white Jesus.
It's just like I
statues.
said. It's going to take once people start realizing that we're having to send military to protect and preserve historic monuments. That's when maybe people will be like, why are we doing this? We're kind of eating ourselves out here.
That
Not,
was
Whoa, that's
not in a good way either.
So I want to run through this
No,
list
they-
real
yeah.
fast. I got
Go ahead,
a
Justin.
list I need to run through. So these are monuments and statues that have been hit over the last week.
Yeah.
So you have Francis Scott Keys was pulled down, George Washington statue and monument, Thomas Jefferson memorial and statues, Teddy Roosevelt, the one in New York, they hit.
Remember when people
It's
were all
outside.
about Teddy Roosevelt like 10
Yeah.
years ago? Like various books are coming out
What
about
in
him. Everyone's like, he's the most badass fucking
Night in the
president
Museum?
ever. Yeah,
He was he was a main character.
and that was
in
people of like all liberals and conservatives could get behind how badass he was.
So Mathis Baldwin,
Yeah.
They attacked one of his monuments when he was a very famous abolitionist.
Yeah, I saw a thing about it. Might have been that guy
Trying to stop slavery most of
and
his
this
life.
Is what's is like,
but
where's
we
it
attack
stop?
his monument
Because it's not about
or
what the
pull his
statue
statue
represents.
down.
Yeah.
Okay, so then Ponce de Leon.
Ponce de Leon.
Did he even step foot? In
I used to buy Ponce de Leon at
Florida.
Eckerd's when I was going on hot dates.
Florida.
That's that cheap perfume I used to buy at Eckerd's right before I'd go on hot dates.
The Lincoln
on
Memorial,
Fridays, ladies.
Didn't the Lincoln? Didn't we watch a whole movie about Abraham Lincoln and what he did for slavery?
He still was like not like woke, but he did take the Union to fight the Confederates.
But the thing
he
is, I don't think anyone was woke yet, right? Was there any historical figures that were woke though? That's the thing.
Yes.
I don't think there was any.
No, there's two monuments that are woke monuments that they attacked because they're fucking stupid.
Because
the people doing this
needed to
shit's
do
stupid.
things to today's standards.
They don't know what they're doing. They
Yeah,
see a solid surface and are like, "This has to mean something. Let me spray paint #BLM or fuck the police on it." The Armenian genocide monument in Denver.
It got nailed.
Which stands for the
What's
people
been
of
done by
Armenia and the
some
stuff they've
Turks.
gone through. You know.
See, when you
the
hear stuff
brutal
like
stuff
that,
they've gone
dude, don't you
through.
think that this thing is about to eat itself to death?
Yes,
How
that's
about
That's what they do.
The one that made
That's
me
exactly what this ideology mentality does.
yeah.
What
It
made
eats
me
itself.
laugh the most was the Shaw Memorial to the 54th Regiment, which is the first memorial to pay homage to the heroism of African American soldiers.
Yeah.
It was paid for by the 54th Massachusetts Volunteer Infantry and the.
Because you can't paint statues, so when people see it, you can't. What? Like, we don't know.
You know what's
The
going to
fundraising
happen?
was all by black groups, and now it's being attacked. This monument, and then the World War I and World War II memorials, and the Vietnam
overseas
Memorial,
or
No,
here,
in
the one
DC.
here, the Vietnam Wall.
Yeah,
It's insane, man.
and they're having a call out that they want to have a big meetup at Gettysburg.
That's
A
man.
big BLM
Dude,
movement.
none
in
of these
Gettysburg.
things sound like they're going to go well. Like these grandiose
You've
ideas
heard
that
about
they
the
get,
Alamo,
you're like,
right?
dude, we're getting to
Was
the
that,
point
like-
where someone's
The
going to
Alamo's legit. They're
that was a
still
legit,
have,
like,
they still
rep-
have people on guard
Really?
24 hours a day.
Okay.
down in San
That
Antonio.
basement is awesome.
Yeah, where the bicycle
And
is.
fucking Ozzy Piston there, man.
On the
What you
wall.
wanna do there?
But
Come on,
what?
man.
The Alamo was Texas's greatest loss. Why do
It's
you need
still
to go
a-
spray it up with BLM stuff?
Because of all the people that
It's a
were there
losing
fighting
place.
owned slaves, probably.
'Cause it's a great
That's probably
tourist
what they're
spot,
saying.
and it's
Davy
a good
Crockett
story.
probably had 100 or something.
It's weird how that, like,
Davy
because it
Crockett.
just exists. The
King of the
structure's there. We have all these
Mountain.
buildings built
We got to
around
tear it
it.
up. They did Penny Lane in the actual street that
Okay, question. And
the Beatles wrote the song
Question.
about. They attacked all up and down Penny Lane.
at any point, are they going to take down the Rocky Balboa statue in Philadelphia?
I'm surprised it's not sprayed on because that's what I was getting to.
Wow.
The Stevie Ray Vaughan statue got attacked in Austin.
What
So
the
What is
fuck
that?
was that for?
I saw this on Twitter. I saw
Stupid.
2 different pictures, but the one I posted, I saw more of. I posted on Facebook. I didn't tag anybody, but I was just like, can someone I know in Austin confirm? I wanted
this is real?
confirmation. It seemed like it would be real. I don't know in any other point in time where someone would have spray painted FTP, which I assume is fuck the police, on a Stevie Ray Vaughan.
Funky Town podcast.
There you go.
It was a promo
Oh.
bid
Damn,
for
hardcore.
a podcast that doesn't exist anymore.
I didn't know Jeff had it in him.
Yeah. He's like, I'm coming back, bitches.
I'm gonna
So,
spray
one,
paint Stevie Ray
I
Vaughan
posted
statue.
that. I was
How's
like,
it get
I want confirmation,
Spray paint
but
a
I saw a
fish
few
on there.
different people post about it, non-comic or Austin people. Like,
Yeah.
all right. And 2, I made a dumb reference of him being in the band The Police. That's it. I didn't make a commentary on whether statues should be pulled down or not. It was nothing. I like to be very neutral or vague. In
You got
almost
shit on
everything I
for it?
post. This fucking insane girl, who I don't really know. She was friends with a lot of like Fort Worth. Do you know her? Is that why you're snickering?
No, I
Okay.
don't. I've seen her around and I've seen her removed from other groups.
Really? She has a
Yeah.
history. Okay,
Yeah.
there you go. I didn't
I've
know
seen
that.
a history of her.
She sent me a
rebel
friend
rousing.
request. I was just to me, if someone sends me a friend request and they know plenty of people in like,
yeah,
let's say
you
the
do.
Fort Worth area,
You know what I've been told is we
I
need to
think of
stop
them
that.
as one more person that might come to my comedy shows and put some money in the tip jar.
That's the way I am.
That's it.
I'm like, they might like the podcast. I
And
can't
here she
deny them.
comes.
What if
she
I
commented on
decline 'em?
something like weeks ago, and it was just one comment, not as insane. And I was just like,
Oh,
whatever.
you always look at the friends list. At the friends
No, I
list is
did,
decent.
and it was a lot of Fort Worth musicians who
No,
I
mine
respect.
are all over the place now, though, dude.
Well, you went
Mine
on
are
weird drunken
insane.
sprees on Facebook. And
That
fucked
might have
your
been the
whole
worst thing I
algorithm
could have
up.
But
totally
she comes
done.
in claiming
10 years
Stevie
down
Ray
the
Vaughan
drain.
was a
Like,
racist, and I was just like, okay. And all I said was one word. It was proof with a question mark at the end. And then she says her reasoning that Stevie Ray Vaughan is a racist is her first word, history. Which I'm like, no, you came into my comment section claiming something that, as far as I know, never heard one goddamn word about Stevie Ray Vaughan, an excellent blues musician who, like, on the way here, I was listening to Stevie Ray Vaughan.
Yeah.
And there was like a live, it wasn't even a song, it was just part of a live album. Him talking to fucking, I think Albert King?
Yeah, you didn't let her off the hook. You didn't let her off the hook.
Oh no!
No, I don't
all
get
of
gay-
Fort Worth
No.
didn't let her off the hook.
I don't care about if someone else wants to engage.
Yeah.
I'm like,
You're giving
at
them the
it, which is
platform.
exactly what happened. She said, I was like, proof. She said history, and she said
Just
something
like old white men way back then.
and I go, I think I said something like, yeah, probably, or something like that. Something I'm like, all right. And then I had two different people message me. One who was commenting, another friend of mine who is an awesome dude who I see at shows in Dallas all the time. He's one of the
You had a
nicest people in
third
the world.
one. I was messaging you about it too.
Yeah. No, like that. This is a
He
Facebook
messaged
Messenger.
me.
He texted me.
He
two
even
people
he
on
sent me a
Facebook
text
Messenger.
and said, "Are you seeing this
My
fucking
buddy
crazy
Jonathan,
shit?"
who's a
was
social worker,
amazing.
and he hates that human suffering is even a thing, which
Yeah.
is gonna drive him insane one day. But the guy has the biggest fucking heart in the world.
Yeah.
He messages me. He goes, "Hey," and he's super fucking progressive and left and everything. And he was just like, "Hey, if I ever go this far on something, please let me know." And my reply back to him was, "Oh no, man, no. I know better than to have an opinion on anything anymore. So you're on your." I said, "You're on your own."
It was anybody that posted
there
something
were
about Stevie
The
Ray
manager of the Addison Improv
Vaughan,
got
she would
into
come
it
back,
with her.
He's a racist.
A
or, "He owns
bartender at
slaves."
Hyenas. So I had two different
Just
comedy
going on.
worlds.
How many people commented at the end of the day?
Oh, I
Is it
I
like
put it
over
on. No.
100?
I'm
I
in
put
the
that
last
shit
one.
on mute.
Oh, you
and
did?
I
You
wa-
muted
No,
it?
yeah. I'm like, y'all have at it. Have all the fun you want. I want.
Is it still going on?
You
Dustin?
No.
need people to see how insane people can be. Like a fucking Stevie Ray Vaughan statue. This is where it all started. I didn't post anything about a Confederate statue, any historic American political historical figure. It was Stevie Ray Vaughan, a Texas legendary musician.
Yeah, Hall of Fame
Who-
musician,
I'm like,
easily.
oh yeah, she also
While he's
accused him of appropriating black culture. So yeah,
Yeah.
there you go. Which I'm just like,
Oh, so now you can't play
So-
blues music?
white
No.
people cannot play
White guy
Hold
cannot
on.
play blues
You
music.
can't. I would pull out her little digital
Or
player and see
any
what she has
music,
on
yeah.
there. I bet you it's 100% appropriated from black music.
That's a
100%.
good point. That's a good. Turn your fucking radio off and turn off your TV.
everything. When we did the metal episode, death metal, black metal, heavy metal, all comes from
Blues.
roots in black music.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Just like the general rock, persuade. Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
like that's
That, The
and
rock
it sucks
genre
that
is rooted in
and
black
it sucks
music.
that
Yeah,
there's
totally.
there's people involved that profited off of it and scam fucking people, and that sucks. But it's also just kind of like, well, that's not up to the people who listen to it
Look at
and
Zeppelin.
actually create the
Look at Zeppelin.
fucking music.
And honestly, this is all leading to one thing. I hope that we're basically talking about the same thing here as we were in the COVID rants.
And then I'm going to close my rant. I have a
Okay.
good closer for you to think about.
We're all talking about, I think, something that's going to eat itself away. But I really hope they eat themselves away before something really bad happens. That's what I think we're teetering on. Is something really fucking bad
they're
happening.
gonna
at one
bomb
of these
Rushmore, baby.
just anything. No,
No.
But dude, remember, like we weren't even this hostile when the Oklahoma City bombings happened. We have surpassed that kind of
by far.
hostileness by tenfold.
By far.
And that's the thing. At some point, some smart, crazy person is going to pull something off at one of these events. Like you saw an example. I don't know if y'all saw that video going around of, and I don't know if this was Black Lives Matter event or a march or whatever. All I know is that's the way it was being sold on Twitter. But there was someone that threw a bunch of fireworks, like big-ass mortar fireworks, on a fucking homeless guy that was just sleeping and running off and thinking it was funny. And it's like, dude, that's something like that, except way more. Well, that's pretty tragic if the homeless person died or got hurt really bad. But I'm talking about fucking something really bad that's gonna fucking like really hurt this country, like. Who knows? Political assassinations, things like that, or fucking like a bombing or something really fucking bad. It's almost like we're letting, like everybody's starting to get to that point where they're letting their guard down of and letting things in that really can take advantage of the situation.
This I want to y'all, since y'all are a little bit older than me, y'all probably had a better, stronger impression from it. This what I see, and I'll go back to what I just said. What I see with like the people that are just going insane with the statues. Same types of people are all on board with the not like a Chris D'Elia. This is probably most likely a very serious situation. The law, not the law needs to get involved type shit, but like New York Times, type the cancel culture thing that is all
the noodle
nowhere
gun.
near the noodle gun thing. That is this new. What I can kind of remember, the moral majority. Like that was more 80s, right?
Yeah.
And the thing is, like to me, like when you heard a tipper, like
hugs,
to me,
not drugs.
What I think of, my brain goes to Al Gore way more than Tipper Gore. And the thing is, like, I don't even think a lot of people my age, and I'm 36, when you say they don't even know who Tipper Gore is or what her mark is on, I'm like, but luckily just through what I like.
Or what the PMRC is.
What it was her getting lectured at by D. Snyder, right?
Yeah.
Was that her in the panel?
Yeah.
So I've done a little bit
owned them.
Through, yeah. Oh, yeah. It was amazing.
They thought he was going to be a dumb rock guy dressed in makeup, and he came in there and schooled them.
Them being limited by
dressed up too, wasn't he?
Them being limited by the internet, and I feel like it's a weird, super far because I love when progressives eat their own. Like I found out about the podcast today because she was interviewed by Tim Dillon, but she has her own podcast. Katie Herzog, who was fired. She's a lesbian. Mm-hmm. She was fired.
I know who she is. She used to be in the tech world.
Okay, yeah. So she was fired. Because of cancel culture, even though she is super far, progressive, and that shit reminds me of from what the little I can recollect growing up then. But it's the moral majority, but it's a godless moral majority. So the difference is decades, but also in their limitation of the internet. But I fear this moral majority than say if I was of age back then.
Yeah.
Because it was a bunch of uptight fucking Christians who were mad that their kid came home with a rap CD or something that cussed.
Yeah.
So they wanted to attack
guys.
everything that came across their path. And that makes they're Christian, if you're very self-righteous Christian, you don't want, and you have the excellent Carlin type argument of change the fucking channel. Yeah. And that was where the beef was. And then they wanted to slap parental advisory stickers on there because luckily we were there. We were after changed obscenity laws thanks to Lenny Bruce and Carlin, so comics could
can you imagine
go in their clubs and do their thing. What of getting fucking arrested?
The obscenity laws way back
then. That's insane because it's like cops in their fucking right mind. I know. I'm thinking a lot of those cops back then. They're like, God damn it, we got to do our fucking job. This is stupid.
I bet you it was a lot of nagging that got
it was
them.
A lot of complaining, like they're saying this and this.
I went in there and I was offended.
Back before television was prevalent, and so that's what they had to seek out the obscenity.
Yeah.
And to me, it's the exact same methodology of going back to the 50s and 60s of obscenity laws and getting the comic arrested on stage.
Yeah.
And then eventually you had, what's crazy is how risky, how non-woke, like 70s stuff, like Blazing Saddles type 70s TV and shit. Then you had the 80s, whatever. You had the moral majority slapping parental advisory stickers on things. But now you have this one where it's not religious based. It's not religiously based. It's racially based. But you can, instead of you can fight Christians by throwing scripture at their scripture. You can go back and forth on examples like that.
A holy war.
The ideology is so vague and customizable to the moment and the situation. There's no fighting it. Because it always changes. It's like punching through a waterfall. You can't. There's nothing solid, and so they can always have in their mind, they can always have their upper hand. They can always say they're doing the right thing. But the reaction, what's weird is a lot of Christians may not have liked that fucking Motley Crue was playing, and they might go pick it. But also, they had zero power to do, and I guess not enough people gave a shit. They're just Motley Crue's going to be here for one night, then they're going to go the next day. You're not going to fucking win this. But these people pressure employers. Are we not even on the air or something?
No, we're on the air.
Oh. They pressure employers to get motherfuckers fired because of an article they wrote or
a tweet from 30 years
or
ago.
even as small as innocuous as a tweet.
Twitter's not that old.
Yeah. And they go so far for something so small when back then, the moral majority of yesteryear was fighting a band that was on tour, create albums, had a fan base and everything, and the record label was like, no, they're gonna play. We're not gonna cave into any of your fucking shit. Again, you're limited by the internet, and the amount of public pressure you can muster.
So let me wrap up my rant.
It's a progressive moral majority that is,
because I have two things I want to get to, and we're running out of time. So to wrap up my rant, they're calling on to go after the European master statues, basically. All the statues that the European masters did. They're calling to attack those, and they're calling to take down Rushmore, somehow deface Rushmore, attack the pyramids, deface the pyramids, or tear the pyramids completely down. And they're going to Gettysburg.
None of these are going to happen.
No, there's no way, right?
No.
They're trying to line
we'll
up
have
some
militias forming before the federal government can get there.
at Gettysburg. But
I don't know, man. Scary times, man. Scary times.
you're going to start
I don't
tearing
like that
down
they're even
statues
trying
of Caesar in Rome?
I mean,
No,
that's
and
coming.
just like what Sean King posted, and some they're like churches are next, and it's just if you go there,
the thing after that is
you know what? I think that
what
might
about
where it
tombstones?
stops.
What about tombstones?
They've already been fucking those up.
Oh,
well,
no,
the memorial.
You know what
the
I was
big
even
ones,
thinking?
But what if
Yeah.
they find out? What if they find out your grandfather?
Yeah.
who has passed away, right?
Oh.
Yeah, both of my grandfathers are
They find out that he's got
moved on.
blood that relates to the Confederacy, and they go and they fuck up his tombstone. Luckily, I just want to have it known here. I asked my mom this weekend when I saw them. I don't have any.
I'm just glad that
I don't have any
found out y'all were
bloodline.
talking about the right Sean King. I thought you were talking about the dude for CNN.
No, the right Sean King. But I have
Yeah.
no bloodline that
I'm
goes
Sean
to
King.
either the Union or the Confederacy.
Oh, good.
My
'cause
family got here later.
Yeah. Okay.
Now, if we want to talk
I didn't know.
about
I was
concentration camps,
I meant to
that's
ask
different.
you that. I didn't know if I should delete your number from my phone.
Yes. And then, okay, so that's my statue rant. Stop. Don't go tear down works of art that are been here for hundreds of years. Please don't.
Also, I
Don't
don't
be stupid.
understand.
Or
I can
monuments.
understand.
Don't go attack Stonehenge.
You don't like
Don't be
what something
stupid.
represents, but also I'm like, how many people's lives are affected by a
It's
statue?
Larry King, not Sean King.
I don't know the last time I walked by a statue.
Sorry,
And
Larry.
If,
I
if you're
do.
like always like,
Well, there's Panther statues all over downtown Fort Worth.
but like
Oh,
one
man,
of
what
one
if
of
we
the
start taking
statues in
cat
questions,
pack,
one of the
statues
statues,
down?
those kind of statues, like.
Yeah.
I'm like, I don't like in my
There's a
day
JFK
in my
one
day to
downtown?
day, in your day to day, you're not going out of your way to see the statue.
No,
in your day to
I
day,
drive by them. I don't walk by them, but I drive by them.
Yeah, so that means
I drive by a lot. There's a
you
lot
may
here
or
in
may
Fort
not know
Worth.
who it is. You probably you do, but like a tourist or somebody. And then
I'm a historian, though. When
I
I,
know,
go
I
to
know.
a town, I go and I
But
look at
if
stuff.
you don't know who it is, then you have to read the plaque. But oh hey, you're driving by it. You don't have time to read the plaque. I just don't understand how It's like I hate that. I'm
you guys
stewing.
see the new old 97s
I did.
Texas edition?
I ordered it.
Oh my gosh!
No.
Yeah.
If they take down a fucking Roger Staubach,
Silver.
it's over.
Silver
That's when
vinyl.
I start.
Wait.
That's when I
so,
start
like,
warfare.
Wait,
Is
how,
there-
how's this
there
relate
is-
to old 97s? Like,
Because their new album, the Texas
Yeah.
edition, is gonna have a picture of.
What if the?
Oh, I thought you were
they've
talking about
already
like a Roger
started
Staubach
attacking
picture
sports
or statue.
statues, so they could come down.
That's
here
what I'm
and go,
saying.
Roger
Rocky
Staubach's got
Balboa.
blood."
Rocky
Fictional
Balboa. Y'all go
sports
after
statue.
y'all go
Yeah,
after
that's
Rocky
gonna be-
Balboa, guys. See what happens there.
Okay, real quick footnote: if you're gonna have a handle in your garage to help pull down the garage door, don't have it in the shape of a noose. We found
See?
that out before the show.
It's an update, huh?
There was a quick update. The FBI did their investigation into the Bubba Wallace noose in the garage and saw that it was a handle to pull down the garage door, not really a noose.
Now, give me up to speed on how this story broke. Was it Bubba the race car
Sponge?
Bubba the race car driver?
He
Oh, wait,
did not
that's,
see it.
That's
He didn't.
someone-
he
another
did
song.
not see it or report it.
so who did? Someone
I
in
don't
a
know. That's as much as I. Really
yeah. So it wasn't like he did it.
Once
But-
again, Texas Riot Girl, I'm not talking about statues here. Talking about European statues that are like the statue of David, art statues. I'm tired of the chat room drawing their own conclusions and not listening to the fucking show.
Ooh, damn.
It's what I've been writing about for the last 30
The-
minutes was the art
Well,
statues.
getting back to what we were talking about, instead of going
Anyway,
back to statues, the
noose.
the noose thing. So who was the one that found it in like whose garage and all that? Like what happened here? How'd this story even break?
Someone on his pit crew was in there and saw it.
And was freaking out like,
And
whoa,
freaked
this
out
is
and said it was a
racist as
noose.
fuck. Which out of context, it does seem racist. So they found out. The FBI did an investigation.
They
And it
all
lasted
hell broke loose.
A day long FBI.
The FBI came in, spent a day, and they looked at one bay and were like, huh, that's a rope. And that's a handle. Then they looked at the bay next to it and was like, that
Oh,
handle's
that's a
the
rope.
exact same way. Then they went to the door next to it.
But
'cause these are all in line.
So this
and were
wasn't.
like, there's another
These
handle.
handles weren't cut off though. and-
Video.
So
And see the same thing.
the handle, the thing that was in suspicion and that everybody was saying was was someone being a dick, a racist dick, was never cut off and thrown at someone or anything
No,
like that. It was
no,
just on
hanging.
it was just
So
hanging
here's the
like
deal.
the all the other
More
garages.
and more stuff has come out since we've done the show, started the show. So I was looking.
Really?
You
Breaking?
know when you have a garage door and you have the string to pull it up and down with,
Yeah.
and when the garage door is up, it's hanging in the middle of your garage.
It's usually been a
Like
plastic thing that's
Yeah, plastic
perpendicular
thing.
to the road.
Well, they make the ones there because I know it because I sit in that fucking garage twice a year when they come to town. I've been all over every square inch of those
Yeah.
garages. Those door handles that are on the side because the garage doors are not automatic. That would be
Or pull.
stupid. They're pull.
Yeah.
They sling them up and they sling them down because during certain races you got to keep shit
Going
secret
and
back
move-
there.
yeah.
You
Oh, okay,
can't
yeah,
show
yeah.
it, so they put blinds on all the windows and doors and private it out so they can sling them up and down.
That's interesting. Never did that. Okay.
A lot of people pull their trucks right up to that door, sling that truck up, throw the car in or out.
Crazy. Okay.
Yeah, and it's not
Wow.
NASCAR because NASCAR is overly regulated, but there were
Okay,
other
okay.
races that came
Yeah,
at the
yeah.
time that were.
But you
Uh,
need those
Grand Train,
doors to
Grand
go up
Prix.
and down as fast as a couple
Yeah,
of guys
as you
can
wanted
pull.
them, yeah.
Okay. Okay.
So every single one of them has a handle to pull it up and down with. Most
Yeah.
of them have two. The ones out here are one on each side.
Okay. Yeah.
And when that rope is hanging, when the door is in the up
Looks
position,
like a small noose.
it looks like a small noose. But what it is because there is a picture floating around now.
It created like a handle.
It's a
to
handle.
grab real quick.
Yeah.
Like they take a rope and they make a circle and they come back and they burn it. You know, you burn nylon rope
Okay.
in order for it to stick together
Yeah. Yeah.
and to get
It'll
hard
meld
and
together,
it won't
basically, yeah.
fray and
Okay.
stuff.
Yeah.
You do it with regular rope too. But that's basically what they do is they take it around, go around a couple of times, and then burn it to itself.
Okay.
So it's solidified.
Yeah.
And that's what they're showing now is what it was. Because I always wondered why there wasn't a picture floating
So
around.
somebody saw that.
what was going on, but someone
went ape
saw that.
shit.
Said
It
it
went
was
to whoever and got the. Yeah, that's what sucks is there's a lot of things you just can't know.
It's been up
That's
there.
what I hate
since
about
it's
having
been
an
up there
opinion
for a
on
year.
anything.
But the thing is, everybody. Oh, is it just? But is it just them, or are there several garages that have that? Is it several garages that have it?
Probably, yeah.
Dustin, is it several garages
Yeah,
that have
several
it?
garages have it.
So it's got to be someone outside of the NASCAR community that started it, right? If you think about it, because it would be common knowledge if it was what was used in everyday race practices
And
and,
if it
activity.
is, somebody did not
So it's
stop
someone-
this before it was like, hey, don't fucking leak this shit. Don't tell the media. Don't get that shit involved. Let's find out what it is. And then if they did, then they got the FBI involved. It would never have been a story
Yeah.
if they just waited like 3 goddamn days. It would have been like,
They would have figured out
yeah.
okay.
But now there's people out there because you hear the story and so few people ever hear the retraction or the correct version or
Fucking chat room can't
you
get
don't-
shit right.
and then
They're still talking about the goddamn statues.
You're gonna need to get a producer
Ugh,
on
no.
your own end.
Once
there.
again, was I talking about not tearing down racist statues? Did that ever
I'll have
come out
to-
of my mouth?
No, your thing was if slave
Protecting
owners.
I'm protecting the art statues. I don't give a
I don't-
shit about the other ones.
We can go
it's-
back to this another
It's
time.
when they called on the art
Art,
masters that
okay.
originally fired me
yeah,
up.
yeah.
That's what I'm protecting. I don't give a fuck about your Confederate statues. Tear them down. I don't give a fuck about Thomas Jefferson or tear down the monuments. Fuck,
Well,
I'm punk
okay,
rock.
as
That's
long
what
as
we've
we're
been wanting to
talking
do
about
forever.
fucking- as long as
That's what
we're-
the dead
if we're gonna keep it on-
Kennedys
if we're gonna keep
and
it on
Fugazi and all them were
racism,
about.
as an adult,
Okay,
you know
wait,
that
wait,
doesn't
wait.
accomplish anything.
If we're gonna
It
keep it
doesn't
on
accomplish
racism,
anything.
then
It just makes a
I wanna-
mess, and
I
you
wanna-
gotta
I
haul it
wanted
all
to
off,
keep-
rebuild it.
I want to keep on the NASCAR angle of it. Okay, so what's going to happen when there's a big protest or something going out to NASCAR and deciding that they're gonna fucking shut that shit down? That could be sticky real quick,
You're not gonna be able to do that.
dude. How do you think? Why do you think not? They've set up a 6-mile parameter in a 6-block parameter and made it into a whole country. I guess
You're gonna have to be there for a week
Because
because NASCAR
fans,
NASCAR's a week-long
they're
event.
not going to do that.
You know, it starts. I think
They
Yeah.
have jobs and
But-
kids.
but
it
the main
technically starts
event-
on a Tuesday and goes till Sunday.
So you're saying that they wouldn't get access in there because it would be defended too well? Like if a group all of a sudden
you would
stayed
have
down
to
there
have
on
a
a
group
Monday,
that big
Yeah.
stay for a week solid, protesting,
More than a
marching,
week.
walking around.
because it'd probably be. I mean, you still got to be setting up
Who's
and everything.
protesting here?
Yeah.
Your pro
No,
conservative
I'm saying-
NASCAR crowd or a far
No,
left?
no. I'm
mass?
saying what's okay. So you see what's happening
No
here.
one's going to protest NASCAR over this.
No, not
It's gonna be
this.
fought out on Twitter.
Not this. But what if someone wants to go make a point and like, hey, let's take this to the next level. Let's say some militant group like that's out in Chaz right now decides that fuck NASCAR's just fucking
You're being
even all
generous
this-
even calling them a group.
well
they
whatever
can't get
whatever they
shit
are. Was it
together.
is it Antifa and BLM is
Yeah.
what they're saying it is, which is probably more of Antifa, I imagine, than the BLM, right?
Well, a lot of the if you look at it locally, a lot of the people that started BLM have stopped because they don't want to be a part of the other stuff
It's
that's going on.
bunch-
But this
like
is
with
getting back
Antifa,
to my
it's a bunch of
conspiracy thing
losers
about
that get
what if it was
together.
placed to trigger something to where a bunch of people gathered at a NASCAR event. That's all. That's the only rabbit I'm trying to chase here. Is what if this is all one big fucking setup to try to cast shade on NASCAR to form more division to where people will meet and something will happen and stop down NASCAR. That's what I was saying.
I don't think it's trying to. If anything, NASCAR is trying to be like more woke, but also this isn't going to help anything because I think they thought this is just my theory. I think whoever saw that was like, oh my god, and maybe they took a picture, maybe they didn't. We haven't seen the picture of when that person saw that. You think?
Yeah, you need
you
to see
think
what they saw.
If they literally walked into that garage and there was like a fucking noose and like someone had a sign
it could
on
have
there,
been silhouetted. He
that
just
would
saw
have been
the outline
the
of it.
first
was
thing
like,
that
what the
motherfucker
fuck?
does is take a picture.
Yeah.
If
sun
you have
shining
a
in.
legitimate noose that's not literally hanging next to the garage,
Yeah.
where and then you look at the next couple of bays and be like, oh, this is just how they are. No, like if there was like a legit, you think the first thing you would do to get the maximum impact of holy shit, some racist son of a bitch put this in Bubba's Bay, you would take a picture of that. And who like that this day and age?
What did he say
we
about the
want
whole thing?
pictures.
What did Bubba? What was his?
He
view
never
on
saw it.
I
All
mean,
his
did he
interviews,
ever
all
come
his
out and
stuff.
say anything like
at all.
Yeah, he was against it and was like, "This is uncalled for."
But also,
and this is
yeah,
unjust and blah blah blah.
But did he explain what it was?
No, he never saw it. In all the interviews I saw, he came out and said, "I
I have
haven't
no idea
seen
what
it."
that. Oh,
I think someone just didn't know what they looked at something. They're like,
well,
oh
see,
my
that's
God.
where the story gets weird because a NASCAR driver would notice that if he's in and out of a garage all the time that's designed like that,
The
that
teams
has that
are
type
in
of.
there nonstop.
That's what I'm
all
saying.
the time.
Right. It seems like see now it's getting fishy.
See,
the
I
whole
wanna
story
know
because why would
who-
he never see that before if it was something that's always there?
I don't
I
think
have
he had a hand
no
in it.
clue.
I want to.
I'm not saying he
what
had a
we need
hand
to
in it.
know
It
is
wasn't him.
who,
It was a drive. It was
who. Where did the change
someone on his
start?
team.
Who said what to who to eventually? It's
Get
like
to the bottom of it.
someone said there's a noose in there, and then at some point you're like NASCAR has to start investigating that. It's like one,
Dude,
take
I bet
us
they
to
are
it.
too.
Well, they've
Well,
got cameras
No,
everywhere.
the FBI just
and
investigated.
the FBI.
That's
That's
why-
the conclusion.
That's what
Right,
we're
now-
going
how
off
we
of.
know what it is.
I guarantee you NASCAR is going to do it too, though.
Well, yeah,
Don't you think?
They probably already did. There's cameras.
probably did, but
Well,
also if
I
the
can
FBI
tell
is
you,
there, you're like,
if
all right,
there's a
they're here
race
too.
going on, especially right now with no fans and everybody wants to be able to see
Yeah.
everything, there are cameras everywhere. Normal race.
Well,
up
see, the
there,
FBI
there are
is going
cameras
to.
all over
The
garage.
FBI is just trying to get to the bottom of a hate crime. I'm talking about how did this thing spread and cause this big thing? No one's going to investigate that except NASCAR.
You know what? I bet you anything. We won't hear anything about
Yeah.
that because this is a very laughable thing that just spent 2 days as a headline.
That's what I'm
And they're
saying.
like-
NASCAR's going, what the fuck? You don't think?
it was just
I
a
bet you
little-
NASCAR wants to get to the bottom.
Somebody okayed some steps along the way. Maybe it started organically. If someone be like, "There's a noose there," that's
And
like
they all ran in there to check it like Scooby Doo, and they look up and it's gone.
maybe
Where did
I
it
don't know.
go?
Maybe there's a team of PR
We don't know where it
people, and
went.
one of them was just
Yeah.
like, "Let's put this out." Like, I want to like
I
again.
would hope not.
Jesus.
I don't. You never know. Like, I again,
So-
There's no.
there
that's-
just has there's a chain of events. We need more details.
We do
about.
need more.
And that's
detail.
what sucks about all this shit.
We'll never
is
hear
then-
about it again.
And 'cause-
Probably won't.
exactly.
We
And
probably
that's
won't
what's
even. I bet you if you
infuriating
go
about
in
it.
there'll
and
be
you
something
watch
new
the
next
news
week.
tonight at 10 o'clock, they won't even talk about it being a,
Yeah, because we'll be
a
on to
garage
something
door
new.
handle.
I saw NASCAR did post the thing about the FBI has concluded this is not a hate crime, and you're like, okay. And now,
the
but
story.
now
The
people
story
will go
from
on.
Alabama says
No
that,
one will recant.
It was at Talladega,
posted.
right?
Yeah, it was Talladega, I
No, it was
believe.
in Phoenix,
Oh, was it?
wasn't it?
So it wasn't in Alabama.
No, where was it? Shit. I guess it was Alabama.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I heard it was Talladega.
Yeah. So it says, this is the Alabama Times Herald classified. It says Bubba Wallace's garage was a door pull. Was a garage door pull.
And so now
It's
that
been there since 2019.
the speculations was out there, and now it's been confirmed it was this. We need to
and
know.
they talk about everything.
Not
in
that
this
I
article.
really give that much of a shit, but now it's like logical to ask. All right, how did this start? Who said what to who?
That's
What
when.
was it?
That's what
Who
NASCAR will get
okayed-
involved with. Probably.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, I
Yeah,
bet you
okay, yeah,
it was because it was in the morning. I bet you the sunlight was coming through there, and they looked up and saw this silhouetted
Someone's eating
shape.
their Lucky Charms and like,
Like,
what
what
the
the hell?
fuck?
What is this?
It's
and
just-
ran
it's-
out.
I don't know how
Someone
it
ate too
got
many
to-
edibles.
What is this?
I don't know how it got to.
We're just trying to do a
where it
podcast.
did.
Got mad.
What the hell is
What
this?
the hell? All right, you want to get
Yeah.
really ranty?
Yeah, let's hear the. There's more rant.
This is rant 2
Rant.
of mine of the week, and this I
Let's
read
hear it for the boys.
10 minutes before you walked in the shed.
Do.
I looked. I came across this. Live Nation demands that all artists take a 20% pay cut next year when they're touring.
Oh gosh, the amount of money those people make. Well, let me hear why.
Well-
I'm sure it's going to be with something
Can
about the.
bands
I want
go
to.
a different route?
There's this article goes into the pay cuts. They'll lose 20%. There's also new policy for concerts and festivals, which I want to break down and see what y'all think of this. But it says here, the company plans to decrease the guarantee artists receive prior to a show by 20%. If concerts are canceled due to a lack of ticket sales, artists only receive 25% of the guarantee instead of the 100% they typically get. Duh. Additionally, if an artist
Can't call it a
cancels a
guarantee.
show for a reason that violates their agreement, they must pay the promoter 2 times their own fee.
Good gosh.
So here's where things break down. They sent out this press release. We got it for whatever one of those fucking stupid lists we are in that get crazy.
We got the press
emails.
release.
We got this press release.
Oh, yeah.
So it says, the global pandemic has changed the world in recent months, and with it, the dynamics of the music industry. We are in unprecedented times and must adequately account for the shift in market demand, the exponential rise of certain costs, and overall increase of uncertainty that material affects our mission. Blah, 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 blah. As we move on into 2021, here are the principal changes outlined below. So the first one is about the 20%. They're going to take an extra 20% off things. Ticket prices. Tickets prices are set by promoter at the promoter's sole discretion and are subject to change. Artist will receive a deposit of 10% 1 month before the festival, contingent on an executed agreement and fulfillment marketing responsibilities. The balance minus standard deductions for taxes, production costs will be paid after the performance. Then they go into the marketing requirements. All artists and all members of all artists are required to assist in marketing through by a minimum social media posting requirements outlined in their offer. So you have to post about the festival or the concert you're playing on your personal social media accounts.
Man.
All artists will be required to allow their performance to be filmed by the festival or used in a live television broadcast, a live webcast, on-demand streaming, and or satellite radio broadcast. So when you used to get money for that,
no mas.
Not anymore.
Oh, okay.
Damn.
They used to get money, or could
You
they
used
just
to get money because
also could they just not agree to that? Because what if
you cannot agree to
what
it?
if you fuck up, melt down, or some shit?
I think
Then
that's
again,
been caught
that's
on,
gonna
like,
go on some cell phones
ACL.
anyways.
Yeah, you're gonna get
but
out there.
At least it won't be in high def.
Okay.
You drop a unfortunate term.
You
This
could-
day
you
and
could
age.
blame it
I
on
mean, let's tie it
someone-
into racism,
You
guys.
could blame
Let's
it
go
on
to
someone
debate.
putting it on like a
Oh, man.
iPhone 5 or something.
Yeah.
So here's where
Audio
things,
manipulation. Let's cancel this one, okay, guys? I farted.
merchandise is no big deal. 30% of the artist merchandise sales. Purchaser, which is the festival organizer, will retain 30% of artist merchandise sales and send 70% to the artist the following week. No big deal. Airfare and accommodations.
Oh.
You know, you're not on a meal ticket anymore.
Got to pay.
All expenses are paid by the artist.
Damn. Wait, you said what? Meals and what?
Airfare and accommodations.
Airfare and accommodation.
Which will also include meals.
That's like hotels too.
Yeah.
I think this is good for local venues and local music. Honestly, this is what's going to happen. Fans are going to just start playing
people that
underground
don't
places,
go through
man.
Live Nation. Can play more the biggest possible.
No, the opposite.
Independently owned.
The opposite. Now you're going to have these bands that roll through town that are going to be more like what's that band that I freaked out on and obsessed with a couple of months ago? Norma Jean.
Yeah.
And say, fuck it then. We'll just play Lola's. And we'll pack it out. We'll have a good time.
That's
We'll
what
make
That's
our
what I
own
was
money.
saying.
That's
Yeah,
probably
yeah,
what's
yeah.
going to happen.
They'll play the biggest, like the biggest possible independent venue.
Oh, my bad. I thought you were saying
Yeah.
it was going to work for bands to be able to play big ass venues because these other bands aren't going to be willing to give up that much money. Is what I thought you were.
I would love to pay way more to see
a band at
a
Lola's?
big time
Fuck
band
yeah.
at a smaller, more
Hell
personal
yeah.
venue. I would pay good money. Like
You know
when,
what the
I'd do
when
that.
Thursday
Dude.
came, like to me, that's probably Thursday came and played back to back nights at
Yeah.
Trees, and that was like it was like a 20-year anniversary or some anniversary tour.
Yeah.
And I was just like, I was happy to pay $40 or $50 for
Yeah.
that because I'm like, they don't tour all the time.
You know what the
I think they
perfect
could
size
play-
for National Bands venue is? That place that we went and saw Don Bash. That's a perfect size fucking venue for
The
national
Observatory.
acts. The Observatory.
Yeah,
that
that's a good-
size.
You know what that reminded me of a lot?
What's that?
A smaller version of the Bronco Bowl.
That's what I thought the whole time we were there, man.
It was an exact.
I was like, if there was
copy of
3
the-
other sides, it would
And it-
be
way
it'd
bigger.
be Bronco Bowl.
You
No,
know,
I mean, well, if it had 3
wider.
different sides, it
Yeah.
would, it'd be a little wider, like the distance to the stage.
Yeah.
Yeah, but the way the way Bronco Bowl was set up was just like that. You're on
Just like
top
the
of the
Observatory.
artist. You're close.
Yeah. It was
There's not really a
nice.
bad seat.
That was my favorite.
Remember
venue
those
by
fucking
far.
cheesy ass VIP rooms back in the day? They were like wood cut out. Like if you sat at the very back of Bronco Bowl, like it was like
Canyon Club.
Yeah, well, not the Canyon Club, but I'm talking about the VIP areas where nothing was fancy. You just got a little box that was cut out of wood, and it was like there was black lights in there or some shit.
I was at that
Y'all
Tool
remember
show.
that?
I only went there once.
Oh man, that when I first started
I
at the
was like
Eagle,
That Tool show
I
was
was like
great.
13. It was
when I
the
first started
C311.
at the Eagle, man, all the big like up and coming, like I saw System of a Down there. I saw
All them
fucking
there.
Incubus there. I saw
Kid
fucking
Rock there and
I
Limp
don't remember if I saw the
Bizkit.
Kid Rock show. Wasn't there? There was a Family
was one of the
Values
last
that was
ones.
there, wasn't there?
No, the
Or was that
Tarrant County had that Family Values, the first one. Then the rest were at Reunion
yeah?
or AAC at the time. But
There was maybe it was BFD or some shit
Saliva?
like that. It was Freakers Ball.
Freakers Ball would go there.
Yeah.
And then the Edge Does Christmas or whatever.
Yep.
When the Edge would
It was a
finish
cool
up.
ass venue, and there was a bowling alley attached to it, and like a big ass bar.
The
and then-
venue used to be like, I guess 60s, 70s was a bowling venue for
Yeah.
national bowling events, and that's why it was built that way.
I'm pretty
Yeah.
sure my dad
My
had
dad-
bowled there at some point in his life.
My dad was a big bowling freak, and he said that there were lanes. There were like 4 lanes that went down through that arch.
Yeah.
Out where the stage is, where the bands would play, but they were long, and they cut all
Oh,
that
wow.
up. And
Remember when Drowning Pool played there right after 9/11? How fucking on fire that place was,
you weren't supposed to play.
dude.
Let the bodies hit the floor.
Yeah.
Let the bodies hit the floor.
Man, that's when fucking shit
Little
was
did they
cool.
know that song would be the soundtrack to people
dying?
going
Now.
mowing down people in the Middle East.
Don't we have
Yes.
Jerry Jonestown Massacre stickers that were on bombs?
There were.
Or is it I was
Are
once
we
eating?
allowed to talk about that?
Oh god. Time code.
I seriously.
Time code.
I know. I got stuff written back that Ex Mobius was blasted out of tanks as they rolled through weird
Time code.
Iraqi towns,
Yeah.
and I was sent a video of that.
Yeah. Oh, we've gotten some pictures.
I
We've gotten
think
some
you're
pictures
right.
that were sent to us. It's like, here you go, boys.
Yeah, there were some stickers on some ordnance. I don't know.
Stuff.
It was probably just
Time
taken to
code.
a target range.
Dude, we're walking out of this show and getting shot dead.
I forgot
Someone's
about
taking us out, aren't they?
that. Shit, I forgot about that.
We're gonna walk
Damn
out of
it.
here. I'm gonna get my car, and all of a sudden, very.
I wanted to play
Very.
you something. You listen to Lamb of God?
I haven't listened to it, man. I totally forgot about it. And listened to some the new August Burns Red on my way over here.
I heard that sucked.
It's all right. It's not that bad.
Remember Hum?
Yeah.
They
The
released
band?
a record today. 22 years.
God, they took a
released
break.
a record today, and it's on Bandcamp. It's not on anything else. It's pretty tight.
Is
and
it close
sounds
to?
good. I listened
Is
to
it
like
all
3
big
tracks,
and
so I was waiting for y'all to get
fucking
here.
like flourish, like just low drop
it's like
catchy tunes?
Stars times
Stars
2.
times 2. Yeah.
Every
like
song
Torch.
stars.
Like it doesn't sound torchy though. Like torchy.
It's not
It's
really
you can
that
still tell
deep.
it's hum.
Yeah, it's Hum. It's good.
Is it, what's
I
that
dig
band
it.
that reminds us of hum that we were geeking out on at Ipecac? Spotlights. Is it like that?
Yeah, Spotlights is badass. Forgot about them. I need to go download some of that. Shit.
Yeah, Spotlights is badass.
Fudge. I was looking.
You had some audio you wanted me to listen to.
I do
so-
have some audio I want you to listen to. I was gonna
Lamb
wait
of
till
God.
Brian got in here and see what he thought of it, so he could rip it apart.
Is it Lamb of God?
No. Did you see any of your family this week?
Yeah. Yeah,
I saw my family for the first time, and
since the whole thing.
it's a whole thing.
Yeah,
went
we,
out to Whitford, saw 'em, spent some time,
Yeah, all the girls and I went to my parents' house on Sunday.
shed a tear. All right, he's putting his headphones on now. This came up today, and I don't know if you've heard it or I came across it today on one of those stupid metal zines that we were talking about.
I'm trying to think if I know what you're talking about.
It's a mashup.
It's a mashup with. Is Jimi Hendrix in it? for some
No.
reason? Oh, that's a different one then.
Let's see if this will play. No.
Oh yeah, I have not heard this.
Do you know what it is?
It's, I know what this is.
Well,
It's
this
Curl the
Mastodon.
Burl. Yeah. Is it? Is it? Girl Talk that did this?
Did they downtune both of these?
Curl of the Burl's not down tuned,
But did they downtune it for the
but
mix?
Justin Timberlake. I think Justin Timberlake's tuned down.
kind of genius. I was
I don't
jamming it
think
earlier.
I don't think the Mastodon's tuned down. I think that's
May not
the
be.
tuning.
I don't listen to the Hunter that much.
I
I'm
don't
not
either.
a fan of the Hunter.
This is about the best song on there.
I put Mastodon on shuffle.
Black Tongue was cool.
I'm a real fan.
Dude,
I'll put them on shuffle, but when
listen to that. That sounds cool.
Yeah.
I still like it.
Yeah, that's cool, man. Who did it?
it doesn't. Does this say?
Do you think Justin Timberlake's gonna hear that at all?
No. No, he's got a keep his dick
If he
wet.
did hear that, what do you think he would do? Be like, oh my god,
No,
am I
they're
high?"
probably friends.
Mastodon and Justin. Probably.
Yeah.
I'm sure they've hung out at the same place before.
They're probably buddies. Well, they'll
Probably
probably
an
be
age group.
now after this. It'll
I'd be broskies with.
There's a new
Justin.
Mastodon album fixed to come out. And I
Dude,
bet you Justin Timberlake
if you
shows
were-
up last minute to record a line.
If you were Hollywood, wouldn't you be friends with Justin Timberlake?
That's a dumb question.
I'd always be hanging out with those dumb motherfuckers.
I'd hang out with him.
I'd hang out with anyone.
I'd let him hang out with me.
Oh,
That's
you'd
the way
like,
I look
I'll
at it.
let you hang with
What's up,
me,
Justin?
bro.
You want to go out tonight? And then everybody would be like, God, Justin's so fucking
So,
annoying.
Who would
Why
you
does
hang
he
out
gotta
with?
go out
Come
and
over,
hang out
watch
with
Right
you?
Arrested
now,
Development?
right now, if you had to
That's
pick
all I-
some mainstream media person, who would be your
That
pick
I want
of
to
the?
fight?
No, we'll get to that.
Oh.
But first, let's do the who you'd want to go out and have beers with and just bro out with one night,
Stern.
and women. You could do women too. You can do
Wait, who'd you
do whatever.
say?
Like
Like,
who
is
would
it
be your
Hollywood
pick?
or-
Who would be your
I don't know
pick?
how broad or you said
m-
Hollywood or
mainstream media A-list people. Who would it be?
Mainstream media.
You
No,
said- you said
who would you- who do you
media,
think-
but now you're
They
talking
have
about
to be in the
Hollywood.
media?
No,
What do you-
my
yeah.
bad. Not
Oh,
not
no.
mainstream media.
What are my
I misspoke.
okay.
Celebrities.
Oh, okay.
A-list celebrities. Sorry. Sorry for the confusion, guys. Like if you got one pick.
I don't have a chance with any of them. I tried to lure Lindsay
gonna go
Lohan
to
one
sex.
time when
I
I was in
I
Hollywood.
knew
with
this
her.
would go to sex.
I bought
I just
some-
want to party. He wants to
Well, I
rage his dick.
I would say
I poured some cocaine on Hollywood Boulevard and had a little rope going down because I was
For
gonna-
her?
It was like a snare.
mine would be
from when
Mike,
she came
Mike
and got-
Judge.
Ooh, that would be a cool one.
I think I'm like, if there's someone out there with
Yeah,
a
dude, that'd
solid
be really
fucking
cool.
track record of shit I love,
Who
Mike
do I
Judge.
want to talk to?
Gotta think of someone that would you'd probably fucking like your personalities fit and you just have a good time
Terry
all
Crews
fucking
is pretty
night.
good.
Who?
Terry Crews.
Ted Cruz.
Terry.
I'll take them both.
Ted
I'll
Cruz,
I'll
I'm
hang
out.
with Ted Cruz.
Terry and
Ted
Cruz.
Cruz?
I'll hang out.
He
with
would suck.
Not both at the same time, man.
I know who I'd hang out
You
with.
want to have devotions
You
and
know the
stuff.
Who knows what he's like in real life? You know the politician.
Is
All
there a
right, who would
time
you
limit
wanna
on this
know?
hang?
Who would you be? Who? No, they have to be alive. They have to be
No,
alive right
that's
now.
what I mean.
Yeah.
Remember, I said Terry Crews.
What
as
about
well.
Kevin
I-
Smith? I'd sit down with him.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Shoot shit. If it's
I just
someone
don't
I
care
don't
enough
want to have
about.
sex
I
with.
don't care enough about movies.
What
and
about
nerd
this?
shit.
I
and
think I
feel
would have
that's
a
most of
really
his
good time
personality.
hanging out with Danny McBride. I think I would have a fucking
Yeah,
blast
that'd
if
be
I was
good.
hanging out with
You'd
him.
have a good one with him.
You would too.
Yeah,
I
he'd
think
be
everyone
fun.
involved would have a good one with Danny McBride.
He's like pigeonholed in a very good way.
Yeah.
Like you know what you're gonna get when you have that. Like
Yeah.
a couple months ago. We
I want him
watched
to play
Uncut
me in
Gems.
my
Man,
movie.
I'm really,
Not Uncut.
oh, I know who I
Righteous
want to. I know
Gemstones.
who I told you I want to hang out with on a show a long time ago. It'd make me crazy. It'd be so much fun. Steve Martin. I want to hang out with Steve
Oh,
Martin.
dude, yeah, that'd be a good one.
I hear he's
Steve
a dick
It'd be a
Martin.
though.
blast.
You heard he's a dick?
Never
Yeah,
heard
that's
he's a
been-
dick.
Like that, or like aloof, or just kind of. Or I could be mistaken for
Or-
the obvious Chevy Chase.
Yeah.
David Letterman.
Uh,
I'd hang out
Chevy
with David
Chase,
Letterman just to
That'd be a
be.
good one. David
Oh, he's a
Letterman
dick
would be
too.
awesome.
He's like a drunk.
I think David Letterman would
fine,
be.
we'll get drunk
not in a
together.
good way. But not like I hang out
But the
and
thing
party
is,
with people.
I don't
He's
think
just like a
David
sad-
Letterman would bro out with you and go
Yeah.
like to the strip club and
David
shit. Where
Letterman
Danny
doesn't seem
McBride
like
would be
a
like,
br-
"Fuck
yeah.
it, let's party." Either that or he's totally opposite of that.
So
and
the
when
Mike
you meet
Judge
him, he'd be
thing,
like,
I think, is
"I don't
just
really do
I
that
want to
stuff,
meet him.
dick."
I gotta think. Give me like someone. I'm like, are we like hanging out, having a good fun time?
Yeah, like you hang out with him all
Right.
night. It's an all nighter.
Again, I don't know how Mike
Sex
Judge parties
involved.
or not.
Just play.
Oh man, but
What about fight?
So this is a fun one. How about Dan Aykroyd? Go
That'd
hang out
be
with him.
good.
dude, just I'll be like,
Bill
tell me all
Murray.
you know about UFOs.
Bill Murray. Well, we can hang out with Bill Murray anytime we go to Austin and South by Southwest is happening. He just roams the streets.
Yes.
Just
Give me
following
Bill
around.
Murray like
I
15
might be
years
going
ago.
down there pretty
I
soon,
know
too.
he's still badass,
I
but
need a trip.
I'd like a more spry Bill Murray. Just that, more longevity of like being able to like
Yeah. So, who would I fight?
We're going to do celebrity, or are we going to do sports?
The sports one's dumb because you're gonna lose because they're fucking professional athletes and they
No,
would
but
beat
we're
your
talking.
ass.
Who could you take?
What
That's
type
the-
of what
that's
type
the
of
thing.
what type of athlete would you take is what we're questioning. Like if you had to
Realistically,
fight,
give me
if you had to fight,
senior PGA.
okay, you
I'll
can't say
take regular PGA.
yeah, you
I don't know,
can't say
those-
senior. You can't say
Those
like
guys have a lot of money and they probably have a gym in
Pretty-
their house.
pretty ripped.
So
I
Yeah.
don't know. I could take Rory out.
What
I'm a
about
smoker?
Is it
I just
between?
have
so
I just
can
have
we agree?
length
It's
on 'em, maybe.
between
I could take
NASCAR
Rory.
drivers and PGA golfers, right? Because I wouldn't mess with a
No,
bowler.
I wanna-
a bo-
I
a
know who I
bowler,
wanna
a
take
bowler
on.
has that old school
Yeah.
fight in him.
I know who I want to take on.
got pistol
What's
in his
that?
glove
A
box.
jockey, because they're little bitty,
That's a good point. But the thing is, man,
or an F1 driver,
Probably
because
quick,
they're
though.
little bitty.
yeah,
They're
but
scrawny
the,
as shit because they got
the-
to fit in those cars.
I feel like the F1 driver, the Formula One driver, would be more.
Well, I
they
don't
would-
want Hamilton Lewis. I don't want to fight him.
That's what I'm saying.
He's
They're,
gigantic.
they're all going to be conditioned as
Yeah,
fuck.
really.
Like you'd be,
Yeah, that's true.
you would swing at them like 3 or 4 times, and they'd be like,
My stamina
take a
would
break?"
not equal theirs.
and they'd be like, "Take a break. We just
You're right.
start." Like
You're right, you're right, yeah.
so you're saying jockey, you're saying senior PGA,
Taking a jockey.
Yeah.
Is that fair on my part? Is that
a jockey.
Am I gonna get a
No.
lot of shit
I
for
guess
that?
I didn't lay the ground rules for that
Is Twitter gonna explode? That
because you
I
want to fight
took
a
a-
jockey.
They're gonna be
Jockey.
quicker than you though. You gotta look out for that.
They probably are.
You're gonna get you a. Never mind. I'm gonna end
I'm
that
just
joke
saying
before
senior
it
PGA because
starts.
I will
was
fight
gonna say
an old person.
Okay.
that seems very reasonable. If I'm,
I'm gonna
looking
go
to
with-
win,
LPGA.
what about
no, they're gonna kick my ass.
what about let's see, man, I gotta think of mine. Y'all both have good ones. Jockey. I don't know if I can beat jockey.
I don't
That's pretty much a
understand
safe
the
bet.
premise of
Like
the,
you might
of
win
the-
that fight.
I should win that
You'd
fight.
probably win that fight. The PGA one, man, you don't know. You might not. And the NASCAR one or the F1 one, you don't know. You might.
Like, I
Someone
wouldn't
might get
even
a
be
lucky
afraid
punch.
to fight John Daly because you're like
I could fight John Daly.
I don't know, like
John Daly?
Yeah.
I bet you he has gotten into some scrums in
yeah,
his life.
he's got experience.
If he gets hold of
he's better
you-
at drinking.
He
Dude,
does have-
Dustin,
Yeah.
think about it. If he gets one punch on you and you're just not like, say you're taking a breather and you just lose track of him and he lays into you,
Plus, he's
Ooh.
volatile.
he's probably gonna knock you out. It's over.
If you're looking
Don't you
going into this
think?
very strategic of like I'm gonna wait for him. He's gonna be drunk. I'm gonna wait for him to make a mistake. Then yeah, you might have a shot. I'd also need to know your fighting background. But John
What about-
Daly just
What about a pool player? Is that
know.
I don't
risky?
know any
'Cause they
pool
know
players.
is that risky?
only
Because they know that staff, that bow staff
Nobody
skills
watches
probably,
professional
so they could
pool
like just.
Are they going to use?
Unless it's
Are
by
they going to have a
mistake.
weapon? Because
No, yeah, I guess we can't
if
have the
they
weapons.
can have a weapon, I'm going to bring my weapons, and it's an auto win.
No, it's
What, a
not.
big bass guitar
Not
swinging
fair.
around, or the weapons? You're gonna swing a
My
You're gonna swing a-
MP5,
you're gonna swing a Star
my
Destroyer at 'em?
giant Lego Star Destroyer, hit them
Give
with
me
46,000
any
pieces of Lego.
professional frisbee golfer.
Yeah, because they're stoners and pacifists.
Exactly.
They're usually
You play?
stoners. They're
No,
pacifists.
never have.
Oh,
They're
it's
gonna
fun.
be-
I used to look like I did.
They're
It's fun.
man. They're all. The thing
That's
is,
why
no, I
asked.
totally
they're
know
too
the
busy
thing.
taking statues down right
The
now.
f-
Okay.
Yeah. No, I would like to think
That's
that
why
those guys.
the courses are empty right
No,
now.
no.
because they're busy
no,
marching.
no. I want to say your frisbee golfer is just kind of like, man, it's pretty cool. They pull those statues down,
Yeah, it is. Man.
and then they throw it because they have one. There's not a crowd. They're gonna,
yeah.
they're probably
Right.
playing it with their roommates, so they're already okay, and they're good. They're playing it. They're not gonna go tear down. They're too stoned to be angry enough to
Dude,
tear
That's
down
a pretty
statue.
good one.
There's a badass
Yeah,
course
that-
right around the corner. We can go
There's
play.
so many
I
types
love
of-
it.
And the thing is, like, I wouldn't say we're doing it a service to hippies. 'Cause I think the hippies would be like, man, it's just the statue, man. Like, let's just take down the plaque so nobody knows.
Yeah.
Hey, why isn't that? I just thought about that. Take down the plaque, then nobody knows who the fuck it is. Because you don't know who it is, really,
We're not
unless
gonna get
it's
back
like
into that, sir.
Lincoln, Washington.
Let's don't draw ourselves back into that.
What if it's the
No.
plaques
Let's
of
just take
common
down-
talking
people
about fights?
that donated like this bench? This
We can't
park
even talk
bench
about
was-
fights now without getting dragged
Well,
back
one,
into
you
this
have-
shit.
No, I want to fight Bob and
I'm just
Sally
thinking
Jones that
practically
bought
here.
that bench at the end of the street.
You
and
take
put
it
their name
down.
on it.
You got to
No.
remove it.
I want to fight both of them.
You got to find out where you're going to take it to. You're going
Are
to
they
take
athletes?
it to a museum or whatever. And then I'm like, just change. Make sure nobody knows who that is.
I think I'm gonna fight a curler. I think I'm safe there.
I don't know.
The
They
ice
work
curlers.
their arms, man. They work their arms a lot.
Fuck, dude. Yeah, they land a punch on me.
Are
especially-
you trying to win, or do you just want to get it over with? Because then you just
This is a terrible mental exercise.
go
It's
up
like,
against a boxer and they just knock you out and it's over.
Get it over? Yeah, one punch.
What
Good point.
WWF wrestler would you want to fight? Like that's.
Which one would you want to fuck?
No. Well, there's some hot ones.
Hey, you brought up something earlier when we were
I
talking
need a
about
list.
concerts, and I found
Yeah.
this real quick list of artists that have been arrested on stage, or just
Like while they're
after on
singer of
stage.
Jim Morrison.
Singer of Snot. I know that.
Boom, boom.
What was his name? No, Scott. No.
Gigi Allen,
Oh yeah, I bet he was.
No, that's
all
a-
the
that's
time.
a-
I bet he
that's
was
a
arrested
given.
a few
Yeah.
times.
Marilyn Manson.
How has
on
there not been a
stage.
movie made about Gigi Allen, like an actual Hollywood film?
I don't know.
It'd have to be NC-17, and
yeah,
they
I
ain't
don't
gonna
wanna
greenlight that shit.
I don't want to watch like what's his name, Zach Graff, just shit on himself and throw it on the TV. I don't need to see him take a shit on film.
Oh, we're late.
Damn. Marilyn Manson, Bobby Brown.
Wait, when did he get arrested? Marilyn
a couple
Manson.
times.
What was it for? Was it
Once-
for his
Very early he got for just tearing up the Bible because he was
Yeah.
in one of those
Oh.
radical religious states, and then another one was he pulled out a dildo and jacked it off on a cop's head, and that was illegal in whatever state that was.
Yeah.
And then I think he stood on a cop, like put his foot on their head or something. And got
They
arrested
considered
for
it assault.
Yeah.
Damn.
So-
Continue. This is an interesting list.
Wendy O, which was probably for nudity, right? Wendy
Yeah.
O, when she did the honors.
She won the one in X, was she? Or no? She's just her own act. I know
I
that.
think she
that name
was
sounds
on her
fam-
own.
That name
act,
sounds
was she
familiar.
for a
What
while?
about Al? Was he ever arrested?
Al?
Al Green?
Uncle Al.
Yeah, making too many people wet.
Oh, Al Jurgensen. He's not
Yeah.
on this list. I don't know if he has. There's two more. Axl Rose,
And his was for
Inciting a riot.
inciting a riot because of
and
the.
then he also hit someone with a bottle in L.A. and I think they arrested
Yeah.
him on stage there. That was early.
Oh,
Did
he
I-
got arrested twice then.
I think he's been arrested a couple times, hasn't he? Pulled off stage and taken into cuffs.
Yeah.
All for violent stuff, except for the riot. The riot.
The
was
riot
just-
one had to do with the Metallica show, right? When he came out and was a dick because they had to cut their set short. They didn't want to play longer or some shit like that.
The
or
crowd
they
was
didn't-
already waiting around.
And then
and
he was
went
pissed
nuts.
and was like, "Fuck it, we're not playing."
Yeah, they walked out, and the crowd went nuts.
And he got arrested for that. Damn.
And then Old Dirty Bastard.
Oh yeah, what was his for?
Gun,
Child
wasn't it?
support.
I don't know if that was it.
He had a lot of kids.
And if you have back
I
child,
thought he
if-
brandished a firearm.
If you're on the
stage.
land for child support, you're like, it'd be dumb to go on tour.
I thought it was.
and let them know where you're gonna be.
Hasn't there been some that have been arrested
I'd say
for
guns
some
or
artists that have been arrested for freaking child support
Probably
or some
not
shit
after
like
a
that?
concert. Because if you do that, they're gonna have less money to pay for the child support,
Huh.
Why would you arrest them on stage? I mean,
or even
Make it
after.
an example, I guess.
but you should just go to their label and say, okay, all their income is coming
Yeah.
straight to us, or go their management.
Let 'em
all
go
their
on
income is
tour
going straight
and
to
take
us.
That's
their
a good
money.
point.
You don't
Yeah,
arrest.
take
You're
it
like,
all.
you owe money, so I'm gonna prevent you from. I know the system is dumb enough to do that to really poor people, but if someone's like a
Yeah.
musician, they're not gonna be like, cut out the tour so you have less money to pay your back dues.
Yeah, Wendy O, or Wendy O. Williams, was arrested for nudity. That's what I thought.
What was ODB's?
Brandishing a firearm.
It
on
was.
stage, yeah.
Keep going. Is that it?
That's it. That's the last
Oh
one.
man, that was an interesting list.
That was a good list.
So
That is
most
a good list.
musicians are pussies. God,
Yeah.
They are.
I want to be afraid. Come on. Put some
I bet
fear
there. I
into
bet
your
you there's a
fans.
way more
God's
than
sakes.
than that are listed on there too.
Oh,
for
probably
sure.
so.
Like,
This was just 11.
wasn't there?
There's another list here
They
that
don't
says-
have all
was it
the
Gorgoroth?
pop punk, all the
Was it
hardcore
Behemoth?
frontmen arrested for dating underage.
Wasn't it
girls.
Behemoth that got in trouble for doing something to a Bible recently? Or I think it was
No.
Behemoth.
The singer
was
of
it
it, the
Gorgoroth?
singer of Behemoth wore a shirt that was saying basically straight up kill Antifa people because he just wanted to fuck with people. Like that's was it Nurgle? I think is
Nurgle.
his name. Which
Yeah.
he was dating a Polish supermodel.
He's a
and
cancer
he was
survivor
al-
too.
That leukemia.
Yeah.
And he was also on the Polish version of where you turn around and like get the
The
Poland's
ass.
Got
Yeah.
Talent,
The
whatever
yeah.
the fuck. I'm just like that.
America's
That
Got
either
Talent.
shows you how how limited Poland is or how super accepting they are. I'm like, it's Poland, so I'm like, what are your options?
Yeah.
That you
Isn't Poland
that
one of
you
those really
have
cold
Nurgle on
countries where
there?
it's cold a lot? Like
Well,
It's right next to Germany, so
yeah, it's north.
So it's way farther north than our
New York or
longitude,
north,
right?
More north, because even
I think it
London's
is,
more
yeah.
Or latitude, longitude.
north than New York.
I believe so.
It is.
I think it is.
I've owned a globe my whole life, but it's been a while.
Wonder
since
what
I looked at
okay,
it.
so what's the most north besides Alaska? What's the most northern tip? It's Maine, right? Maine's the most northern tip of America outside of Alaska, right?
Probably, yeah.
Wonder what it is if you took a fucking magic marker and did a straight line across Europe, where it would come across?
Where Maine would come across?
Yeah, how far north in
I
Europe?
think. Well, actually, no. I think it
I
depends
thought
on.
that was.
It depends on where
even
your
with
destination is, because I actually think the
Ireland.
most eastern point is in Florida, maybe.
Not eastern.
No,
northern.
no. But it also depends on how close you're trying to get to Europe and what part of Europe, because you're looking at that.
Alaska's higher than Maine.
We're
though.
doing all this without a
This
map
hurts
in
our
front
brain.
of us.
It really
so
hurts your brain if you start thinking
Alaska's
about
higher
that.
than Maine.
Yeah, I know.
But this is what I like about it's
But
like
Alaska's way
without
up
Joel's
north, and
computers
it'd
up,
be- it-
it's
it
like
would
we
be
can
Russia.
have a conversation at a bar.
I can
10
see
years
Russia
ago.
from my backyard when I was there.
If you're gonna live in America,
It was thought about
You
this.
gotta
Learn to
speak,
speak-
learn to speak
learn to
American.
speak
Think
American.
about every president in mind,
God, that's my favorite
in
thing
my
ever.
life, in my
did she
cognizant
think there was
lifetime.
an American language? I wonder if she really thought that. Like she didn't
No.
understand that English.
But thinking about Palin,
I can't
and
find her.
Poland?
she was McCain's, running
Oh,
mate.
Palin.
Who's nailing Palin?
Everyone. Okay, think about this.
I'm into that porn with the lookalike. of
What
her.
president, at least since
good.
Clinton and Bush W or
Bush W?
first Bush, every president that's won
Then the guy shaved. and then the
has
second
mo-
Bush.
has. I thought about this. What's this common factor from every president that
Is it
I
beer
can kind of
endorsement?
remember?
Head
Because
full
I
of the
can't
mountains
remember
with Bush.
88 of like was it? Does that Dukakis
And
and
how is
George-
his
HW?
campaign slogan? I'll bukkake all
I
over
don't-
my Dukaki.
You want to be in America? Let's speak American.
Continue.
Okay, that was Palin. Oh, that's right. It's been so long.
That's her.
Okay, so here's why possibly I think on one if this the dumb theory pulling on my ass on one detail alone why I think Trump's going to get reelection
Because he wants to speak American.
because of this thread of everyone I can kind of quasi intelligently remember and have an opinion about going back to Bush and Clinton
Head for the
in
mountains with
90,
Bush.
93
Beer.
because having to backtrack and learning some shit. What's the one common thread of the victor? Of Clinton over Bush, Clinton over Dole,
Head for the
Bush over
mountains with
Gore,
Bush. Head
Bush
for the
over
mountains-
Kerry.
Head for the mountains with Bush.
I'm going in order from
Beer.
Bush one
Head
over
for
well,
the
no, no,
mountains
no.
with
Clinton
Bush.
over Bush one,
Beer. Head
Clinton over
for the
Dole,
mountains with Bush.
Bush
Head
two
for
over
the
Gore,
mountains with
Bush two,
Bush.
shut up,
Beer.
Bush two over
Head
Kerry,
for the mountains with Bush.
gonna
Obama
be a song.
over McCain, Obama over Romney, Trump over Hillary. What do those victors all have in common?
Well,
And
they're
I'm not
all
putting
white
in I'm not
now.
putting in a positive connotation here. They all
Ah.
had more charisma.
Mm.
Now, Bush, I don't know.
Head
Like,
for
was it
the
Dukakis he
mountains
ran
with
against?
Bush. Beer.
Yes.
I don't know. And from the very little I can
Well,
remember,
Which
who had
Head
I
for the
think
mountains
even
of Bush.
Dukakis was so
Head for
fucking
the
boring,
mountains
right?
with Bush.
Just
Beer.
because y'all are older, do you remember Dukakis having any more personality or
I
charisma than
remember
George
him being
H?
creepy because I was
Creepy?
young then.
Also, HW he was the vice president.
They
for
got
8
smart
years.
now.
He had a familiar.
And then Dole.
Reagan. Well, Dole, I remember him just being boring.
He had the
Yeah, he
hand.
was
Well, no,
boring
no,
as
but
shit
like,
with his weird
I
hands.
remember
Weird
that,
hand, dude.
so I can answer that with my own experience.
Yeah.
But like Reagan over it was Carter first, right?
Then
And
Reagan.
then
Then I don't even know. there.
Mondale, or was that a 60s,
Well, that went
70s
against
thing?
that
I
went
don't- I
Walter
wasn't awake.
Mondale ran against
Reagan,
Ronald Reagan.
I wasn't
charisma.
alive. Yeah, Reagan was.
So I'll give
badass.
both. So that goes down to 80.
He brought the wall down.
Then
Iran
Carter
Contra.
over Ford.
Contra.
Nailed Nancy.
Up, down,
Just
down, left,
even
right,
loose
left, right.
historically
BA, start.
thinking. Carter had probably, just because he was such a wholesome, nice guy and personable, probably had more
I thought
charisma
he was a
than,
dick.
than who? Carter?
Yeah.
Probably at that
Or
time.
maybe he's a dick now.
He's just
I
the
don't
old.
know.
His
Y'all
legacy
think
is
there's
just,
a lot of dicks out there.
These old men.
So
There are a lot of dicks.
Bunch
and
of
I
old
thought of
white
this
men
yesterday
their
or the day
dicks.
before. The victor
Cheney.
always has more charisma.
Yeah.
Than,
For
I'm
sure.
just like, and that's been I think I'm like that's a pretty solid predictor.
It's not going to be Joe Biden that runs against him.
You didn't like Hillary's charisma?
Just from what
It was creepy as fuck.
Oh,
She
she's so
freaked me
goddamn
out.
creepy. But
She creeps
Trump
me out.
also had a primetime TV show for 15 years.
That was
You
huge.
don't have a huge show like that without and I'm saying
Wasn't
I'm
Hillary
not
and
saying
Donald
charisma
Trump like
is a
good buddies for a while?
I'm putting no connotation
they're
behind.
bros.
I looked up the definition of charisma. It does not say this is a good or bad thing. So I'm using charisma in the correct way here.
It's,
Well,
it's kind of
stat
an
on
influential.
Every
Yeah, I know what you're saying. Every fucking RPG.
RPG game is charisma, and I got to roll for it and see what's up. So
Dude, that reminds me,
But
I got to go home and play
The
some
person
games.
with more, the person that's become president has more. And
I'm
Hillary
hungry.
is just
fucking hungry.
a well-oiled DC
what's
robot.
happened to
Just-
Biden? I haven't seen him anywhere.
Exactly.
Is he alive?
That's what
He's
Trump
getting-
Jr.
he's getting
keeps posting
reprogrammed.
on Twitter. He's like,
They're
"What-
changing
what-
out his. They're changing out his
serious.
motherboard, man.
They could be.
Yeah.
You know, they peeled his face off twice for
Yeah,
brain surgery.
changing out the motherboard, man. He can't go in. Honestly, it's not going to be Biden. Something's going to happen. The
Apple releases
Democrats
Big
know
Sur
they're
and
going
they
How long
shove
have
it
you been
into
saying
him.
that? People were saying
What do
that
you mean?
before he got the official
It'll have
nomination.
something-
Now he has the official nomination. You
Because-
think they
because-
would do that before the
because
official
watch,
nomination?
they're going to. They're going to
still-
start coming to the realization that the guy's not going to win anything.
They should have. They would have. They probably already. They would have come to that realization, quote unquote, already by now.
Every Democrat I know, like
I
staunch
actually
Democrat,
think they're
are like
dumb enough
fucking,
to run
No,
him.
they're not. They're like, we cannot let Joe Biden run this thing.
Then they wouldn't have been dumb enough to let it get this far. They would have gone with
It
any
was
other
out of their
sane
hands
choice.
because it was out of their hands. It was in the super PAC.
No, it's always been in their hands.
No,
they just didn't.
They
want
fucked
Bernie
over their
or
man,
Warren.
Bernie,
Well, yeah,
and that's when they shot themselves. in
they
the
were
foot.
always going to do that. They
Bernie
did
got a
that
little
4
weird
years
this
They
time
had
around,
they
too.
had a winner, and that was in Tulsi. Tulsi was a winner. She would have won.
Then they would.
She would have
no, dude,
fucking
I
won,
think
but they
they're-
thought it was too much of a threat to.
I think they're punting.
I think there's
I
too
think
many.
they're punting to
like the
2024.
You could
I think
be right.
They're just going to give this up because I think that don't
be.
think that
That
if
actually,
you think they're
that's
smart
kind
enough
of
to pull him
knowledgeable.
now,
mean,
you're
not
giving them too
knowledgeable,
much credit. They would have
Well,
been
what
smart
sounds-
they
enough to
want to
not let
impeach him.
Biden get this far.
All they want to do is impeach him. They want to
Yeah,
impeach
you might
him,
be
impeach
right.
him,
It's all
impeach him,
strategy.
impeach
But
him,
I don't
impeach
think
him.
that's a
It's
good
a
strategy of them just
then
like
getting him
running
punting
off
2
their
times in a
VP.
row.
That means your VP has to be strong enough to make up for everything Biden lacks to beat Trump, who we don't know what the fuck he's gonna do. Who knows what he's gonna do. This
Yeah,
time
imagine his
around,
second
campaign-wise.
term. Good lord.
Ugh,
Golly.
I don't know.
I think we're gonna get a
It's
second
like-
Trump
I don't
term.
even
I
think so.
flash back.
think
I
it's
flash
just-
back to when we thought it would be really funny. I don't think it's funny anymore.
I don't think he'll make it.
We're
through
still.
another
You know
4
what though?
years.
Like I posted this a long time ago. I'm pissed off at everyone that said it was going to be so much worse. But that also that sucks about that argument. Like, Trump's going to nuke us. Trump's going to put us in cages. Trump's going to bring back
He
slavery
put half
or
of us in
something.
cages, or a quarter of us,
No,
an eighth of us,
no, you keep going down. No, like it's just
a 32nd of us.
a gay friend of mine thought
I
he was
am
going
so
to be in a
scared to
cage
drive
by
home
now.
tonight,
I'm
guys.
just like Trump's
Well, that's
not.
a Saturday night.
Is it cool if I
Trump-
crash here?
Okay, here's the thing.
I'm scared to go drive home tonight after all this shit.
People
we've
have been
talked.
saying Trump's a dictator this whole time, his whole time in
I
office.
mean, we've made
If he was actually
nephew
a
and niece
dictator,
jokes.
what more magical gift wrapped in a bow in a beautiful shining package would a dictator love more than the fucking COVID pandemic?
Oh yeah, I know.
Yeah.
But then
Yeah.
he wasn't the dictator they said, and this is not like, I'm just saying people have from the beginning gone way too far with their arguments when there are plenty of great arguments against Trump. You should stick on those and
That's a
hammer
good
those.
point.
When people said he was a dictator, well, like year one,
You should
like,
be
he's a
Trump's
dictator.
campaign manager, man.
I'm so glad I don't have any ambition. I could use these powers
You
for
need to
evil.
run for city council
But Trump
and then mayor.
Dude, how
people-
bad would that
and this is what
suck?
does a
Of Fort
disservice to the anti-Trump argument. Calling him a dictator when he's one had every opportunity to do so because presidents have
How bad?
executive orders, but with the COVID,
Yeah.
if a dictator,
You're
if he's
making
a
your point.
dictator
We
in
got you.
waiting, and why does
Yeah, we got
nobody
you.
think about this?
Yeah, we
why
got
is it
you.
up to me to do this?
Check this out.
My
If
question
you
is,
were
hold
a
on, hold on, hold on.
dictator, this COVID would be perfect for you. But guess what? he ran. He was a president that did or did nothing depending on your
What
stance.
power does he really have?
The emergency powers that
Hey.
have been enacted since the COVID thing. He
Can I
has an
spit a-
incredible amount of power. The Defense Production
But we all
Act.
know the real power below him can flip him over like that.
But think about all these executive orders that have been. DACA was an executive order that they just ruled on.
It's true, but
But
I'm
with
saying
that
if he
Supreme
goes
Court
into
ruling, they
dictator
gave him even more power.
all the real power he doesn't have. What's he going to do? Kill off his entire?
Well, that's
chiefs
what
of
people have
staff
been
and-
saying. They've been touting the whole dictator horn, and it does a disservice to any credible anti-Trump
He's
argument.
just a figurehead.
I know,
that's
but people
making us look like
he's
an
either a
idiot.
figurehead, but then there's also people. This is what like libertarians hate is it's like the executive office has too much power and he should be a figurehead because there are also a lot of these executive orders that we just don't because
No,
government
that's 100%
power is
true.
so boring. It's just boring.
Yeah.
That we don't know these true powers that a president wields because I think it was like 10
Need to bring
8 years
Uhtred.
ago.
He
like,
wields power.
like they don't really tell you about executive orders when
We should
you're
go back
learning
to
about
dueling.
this shit.
If
Dude,
someone
yeah.
wants to duel,
Have back to drunk plan.
Well, guess who's going to win? The Republican.
we
Hey,
duel.
They're going to have a lot more
Shoot each
firearms
other in the
training.
You want to
Right.
hear something? Hey, you want to do some?
those
Okay,
Democrats.
real quick. Let's get off the fucking crazy shit.
Yeah.
Just for a second, I wanted to tell you, for the first time ever in any series, have completely started Last Kingdom over again, and I'm about to be in the second season already.
Damn.
I don't know why I can't stop watching it, man.
Is it like Quest 2 when you beat Zelda and you start it up
No,
again?
there's
Things
just
are
some
out of
stuff
order.
that there's some stuff that I wondered about that I want to go back through and see what happened, like the catch, like some of the things that happened and how it pans out and stuff.
Did you duct tape your shoe?
it's a,
It's a can.
it's a can.
It's a can.
But anyway, dude, and I was like, okay, this is you're either gonna be like, no, it's just gonna be background for when you're working or stuff, or you're gonna actually get drawn into it again. I'm straight up drawn into it, dude. Just
And now you
watching it
know
like,
when the titty scenes are, so you're like really drawn
Yeah.
in. 'Cause You
Yeah,
got
man.
those planned out.
dude, that's a good series, man.
It's pretty good.
I started Hannibal. You started that one?
I went a few seasons through it.
Oh, I haven't even made it through the first season.
Yeah, I went a couple seasons through it when it was on Channel 5.
I don't know, man. It's kind of dark and kind of puts me in a mood.
It makes me want to cut people up.
I didn't say that, but it does. It is a dark fucking.
Makes
series,
me want to turn
though.
my house like the backside of the Brutal Juice record.
I didn't say that either, man. I just said it's a dark. It's kind of a downer, you know. It's not a happy go lucky lift me up thing. You know.
We're all fascinated by this now. This is like one of those soothing videos that you see on YouTube. We need to have a video of you just taping a can up
And then
on camera.
You have to talk like. Remember, Dustin, you have to talk
Yeah.
like this.
Throw some ESL in there.
You putting some duct tape on that bad boy? Yeah, man.
Have you seen that on Pornhub yet? Have you seen that on Pornhub yet?
What ASMR fucking or
Yes.
porn or just,
Yeah. Am I old to that? I didn't know.
Yeah.
I thought we were making jokes
when
when
you,
we were saying
when you
people are
don't
jacking
have
off
the
about
freedom, let's just say when you don't have
that.
the freedom,
You gotta go.
Yeah.
sound is very underrated.
It is
Because
very
sometimes,
underrated.
like being a man,
Yeah.
you're just kind of like, I'm gonna get this out. Everyone's asleep or something like that.
Yeah.
Sound is not something you. I had a buddy.
You can listen to volume down porn.
Speaking
My
of
best
sound,
friend,
what's up
this
with
did
these
not
storms
happen to
waking
me.
me up at 5 a.m. every day?
I
this
wish
week?
this happened to
Yeah,
me,
those
but
need to stop
my
now.
best friend texted me a long time ago. He's like, yeah, it's like my wife was asleep and I was watching porn on my phone and I couldn't hear it. But then okay, well, I'm getting some facts mixed up.
I'm always thinking a leaf
The-
can hear my
the
shit.
audio was still connected to a Bluetooth
my neighbor.
speaker, and so like I think that he was just like, "What's going on?" He kept turning up louder, and it was I forget exactly. Maybe his wife
He was in
wasn't
a different
asleep.
room or something.
Yeah, yeah. I think his wife was asleep. He was in a different room. He was just like, "Why can't I hear it?" Kept turning it up. And
That's
it was
in
on
a
the
movie.
Bluetooth speaker in the bedroom.
That
and
has
he
to be in
kinda
our
like,
movie. Dustin, write that down. That's
writing
going to
it
be in
down.
our movie.
Yeah.
But then I saw a
gotta
tweet
be.
one of the
that
scenes.
was similar, but it was like a girl went off. There's like it was like a family get together, something thing. And she went
Yeah.
off in a room, and it connected to the speaker, so the whole family heard what she
Have
was
you seen
looking
that porn
but
where
that
where
is-
couples are taking like the remote
Dumps
control
on each
panties
other?
and stuff, and they're like
I think I know
getting
what you're
picked.
talking-
They're
yeah.
picking up like the mother-in-law and stuff while the guy's triggering the fucking
Oh, they
badgie.
take them to
Yeah, to see
situations.
situations
Nothing's
that
that
they can't
gro-
really.
To me, it's just like they're at McDonald's or something.
No, there's even more freakier ones where they're
I don't
like,
need
go
to go
pick
that
up a
weird.
relative and stuff.
Oh, I don't need that.
I don't need practical joke porn.
I don't need real blood relatives involved in
I didn't
this.
log into Pornhub to watch Double Dare.
I'm not here to laugh.
Like we all know, we all
I'm not
know.
here to play games.
If
that
I was here
they're
to
not
laugh, I
really
wouldn't use the
sister-
porn. I'd just look at my dick.
Like we know that's just the title, and we know they're not brother or sister or
Yeah,
even
we
step
get
brother or
it.
step. We get it. It's,
don't even
it's
have to put
dumb.
that in the
What
title
sucks?
anymore.
What really sucks? I call bullshit on the whole step brother, step sister porn is great. I'm like, no. You just label it that way, and you have the hotter girls there, so that's what we're gonna look at. And so you can say,
Dude,
this,
come
you can say
on.
stepbrother, stepsister.
Don't
is
come with
going through the
fucking
roof.
stepsister, stepbrother porn is racist now and start pulling it down. That's when I start drawing the
I'm just saying
goddamn
it's a
line.
false popularity because you have the hotter girls.
Don't mess with my porn.
And you're labeling it under the category of stepbrother, stepsister. Let's just say stepsister.
How did they not get sued for false advertisement?
It's porn. You know, you can
The whole thing is
you can
false
debate how
advertisement.
you can debate how
Women don't act like that, and your penis is not that large.
No.
You can debate how B
No.
or B that BBW
It's like you have sex
is.
with a woman and they're like, they act normal and you're like, where? Okay, what's
Look.
going on? What the fuck's going on here?
Why aren't you bending over this way and that way
Yeah.
and twisting
it's
up
like-
into a pretzel?
Why
and-
aren't you a freaking like? Why aren't you flooding my floor right now?
You could argue everything and be like, that's not a
Why don't I
black
have a
chick.
floor
she's,
flood?
She's mixed. Or that's not a big beautiful woman. That's a
I don't get it. What's
mid-sized
going
beautiful
on here?
woman.
Something's wrong with your vagina. Why?
Water heater break?
Water main?
Why is there all this water on the
It's like-
floor?
Is she selling real estate? I want to see her license. Like it's not.
Yeah. These two
And
are
then-
nurses.
Yeah, no shit.
They couldn't find their
Really?
keys in the
Anyone
bottom
can-
of their purse.
Anyone can buy scrubs.
They can't even call Uber right
I call
now. Look at them. They're
bullshit.
fucked up.
Yeah.
They've taken
Look
2
at them
I'm
Screw
gonna write a
everybody.
scathing
They've been
comment.
doing fireballs and
after I orgasm.
sandbars all night. The fuck is this?
This guy knows how to work a pool?
Yeah, so
I'm suing. That's
stepsister
it.
porn
I'm
is,
suing for false advertisement now. God damn it.
It's a fault. It's
It got
like
me again. Duped me again.
it's like if Taylor Swift came out with a moderately rock based music album and she called it metal. And
Oh
then it
my
went to number one. Be
God.
like, Taylor Swift has the number one metal album. You have a whole bunch of people would be like, that's not
Like
real
when
metal.
Jethro Tull
Just like with stepsister porn, you're like,
won the
she-
Grammy for
I'm
metal?
not watching this because I think she's his
Man,
stepsister. I'm watching this.
what did
'cause
you
she's
think
hot.
when? What did you think when Lady Gaga got on stage
Lady
with
Gaga?
got on stage with Metallica?
Who gives a shit?
Can you imagine what would this do to your heart?
Metallica
if
should
all
just
of a
be
sudden,
called Rockalica. Hey,
all of a sudden, fucking, let's say Mastodon comes out on stage and plays. What's your favorite Mastodon song?
I don't know, man.
You really like
Track
Crack
10,
the Sky.
I like
You really
Oblivion.
Blood Mountain.
Oblivion. So,
And
like
out
they start
walks
playing all of a
T-Swift?
sudden. No, and they start going into a dun 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 dun, and they're about to start playing. They start Oblivion,
If
right?
Gaga came out and
all of a
started
sudden,
singing, "I
fucking
flew beyond
Taylor
the sun," I
Swift
would love it.
came out and was like, "I'm far away 'cause I've been away too long, leaving you behind."
That
She's
could
all
sound
like,
pretty
would you be like,
badass.
"Oh my gosh, I'm done. It's over. I'm pressing the nuke button."
Yeah.
No, I'd listen to it, and it would probably sound good.
Taylor Swift doing Oblivion by
If she's
Mastodon.
doing the drummer's vocals, I think that'd be okay. Wait, oh, no, I'm sorry. That's not him. Not that's not the lyric you did.
Time,
Not that
burning
one.
all the gold and
That would be
silver
interesting,
from
and I wish we
my
would get more
hands.
of that. The only way we
No,
get
man,
close
I
to
don't think
that,
that sounds good at all, dude.
the only way we get close to that is bands like In This Moment and shit like that we just write off and they play trees or something.
But you just poo-pooed on Metallica and Lady Gaga.
because I heard it and it sucked.
No, Lady
And
Gaga.
that's just how
I would
much
rather have Lady
Metallica
Gaga.
has shit on their legacy for so
I would be
long.
okay with Lady Gaga doing a song with like Dillinger Escape Plan or Mastodon.
that would be-
before,
that'd be
way
fun.
before I would Taylor Swift. Taylor Swift would just fucking
Give me
She's a
butcher
any
it.
robot.
prominent female vocalist. I think it would be interesting. I'd hear it if she did something because
Sarah
Metallica's
McLachlan.
Metallica's
She's-
been
and
too
there's puppies.
accessible for too long. even in modern day metal standards, their thrash stuff is just kind of like, all right, it's also because it's large as shit ass drumming.
It's all slow.
Yeah, but like
it's all slow.
Give me a modern pop female vocalist and do her.
So you're good with like
something
Pink
with
doing Slayer?
Yes, I'd see that.
Slayer is just really fast, and I'm like, eh.
Dude, I could never, man. Can you imagine if you if you took some shrooms before you went, some really good shrooms before you went and saw Slayer, and all of a sudden out walks Pink?
Do you think that was the greatest trip you've ever been on?
That would be. I would like to see a female vocalist do that part and just. And she would sound better than Tom Herrera, anyways. His vocals have been.
I'm gonna tweet her and say, "Can you do this for us? Can you do it?"
His vocals are nothing special.
You know what? I'll ask Courtney.
Drop Dead Purgatory. I'm like, that's a.
What was that metal band that was at speaking of the Dime Bash? What was that metal band that came out that was like
the Butcher Babies? The Butcher Babies with the two chicks with their tits flopping out.
Yeah. Going, and all their songs are like.
They're both former strippers or former.
Yeah.
They toured with the Genitor.
They were good.
Stars,
I mean, they kept my attention and stuff, but it was just all their songs were.
That's because you were horny. They were. I can't stand them, but they're like a
I think
whole
I was just
LA
really
thing,
high.
a whole super LA thing. There was, damn it, we're so late, but I found out two things today.
You're pregnant
this week. They're both Pink Floyd related.
Yeah.
I never knew they did a show in Venice on the water.
Is that the one they released?
Oh
yeah.
And the boats could pull up right up.
Isn't that the one that they? Is that what they released for COVID?
It's one of the concerts, one of the live concerts. They remastered it and put it out because they're putting one out like every week or something like that.
Yeah.
Along with Radiohead. But that was the one was where they in Venice, and they're just their entire stage is a floating boat.
That's tight.
And everybody pulls up to it, and they play their set.
That'd be cool.
And all their trickery was there. The inflatables and all sorts of shit. It was badass. The lights.
Could a band do that these days, or would it be too much of a
fucked up Venice?
That's what I'm gonna say. And also, would it be too much of a liability for a band to do that? Like, let's say someone like Post Malone decided he was gonna do something like that. Someone that's huge right now. Would that get out of hand and someone would die because they drown or some kid would have like a paddle boat?
They'd make a big deal. Yeah, someone will die. And then they also did another show at a botanical garden, and they set up in this shell that was an outdoor lawn for people to see, and it was a small show.
You know how many indie bands probably love to do that right now?
But they filled up. They had this giant pond they played in front of, and they put all their smoke and pyro and stuff in the pond like normal. And then they had their sound, and it was said that when they set off the smoke underwater, it polluted the water that was full of koi fish.
They killed them?
Huge koi fish. And then at some point in the show, they hit a note, and the note actually, they say there were still fish swimming around and flopping around and stuff trying to survive. But when they hit that note, all the fish just went
oh god,
and died, and they got billed like $200,000 for koi fish at their show.
That's crazy, dude.
Fucking cool, man. I want more stories like that. Tales from the road. Yeah, go check out that old 97s, man. That I ordered mine today. Jeff sent me a message, said, "Hey, look, it's out."
Pretty awesome.
He bought a little package. He was talking to all of us, and then I was like, "Man, I'm gonna get mine on silver vinyl."
Yep. It's been good, guys.
It's been good. It's been fun.
This was a funner show, even though we still bitched a lot. Sorry about all that, but we're not sorry. I mean,
y'all may be by yourself next week.
Why?
If I die on this rafting trip.
Oh, yeah. The big rafting trip that I was supposed to go on.
Are you going to go?
I don't think so, man. Why not? I've got prior obligations that I got to take care of. You ever heard that?
That's why
prior
we made
obligation.
That's why we made these plans
I
2 months ago.
I didn't put two and two together until last week, and I was like, "Oh fuck!" Yeah, I fucked up.
COVID may not let you do these things.
I know,
but there's no COVID on the river.
True.
COVID on the river.
When you're on the
COVID,
you can spit in each other's mouth on the river.
COVID on the river.
All right, We're out of here. Later. Bye.
Later.
Stupid.
That was a perfect ending right there.
Dun 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 dun.